Hello everyone and welcome to yet another PS4 Tournament's MK11 Open Series Invitational. My name is Ketchup, joined as always by Mustard. He was away for a couple of weeks, but he's back and he's ready to talk about some video games with me. Yeah, go on. Welcome the lovely people back.
Yes, it's good to be back, guys. I haven't been here for a few weeks, and it feels like I've missed months, so I feel like I've got a bit of catching up to do, but looking at today's bracket, which we'll find out later on during this intro segment, it should be quite a good day. But before we get too much into the action, I want to say this is, of course, the PS4 Tournament's MK11 Open Series, but it is but one of the competitive outlets in MK11 currently. It's running alongside Pro Competition, which is the official online World Championship, and we have a video to check out to go into a bit more detail about what Pro Competition is. So before we start, let's check that out.
Sangue Frio é o primeiro campeão aqui da primeira etapa da Liga Latina. Sensacional!
Look at this damage.
Very doable!
You can't hold me down. Yeah, how you like me now? You won't beat the hell of power. Looks like bling.
Jokes, no gimmicks, just combat.
PlayStation. So the Pro Competition is something that is forever ongoing at the moment. We just had our latest installments of NA East and West. You know, we had Kombat looking incredibly strong. We had Rewind continuing to look incredibly strong, but also some players that you probably recognize from the Open Series, if the Open Series was all you watched. And important to mention, North America, Intercontinental, and Liga Latina are the three separate leagues. They have sub-regions as well, with a total prize pot of $60,000. There are plenty of different ways you can get involved and support the Pro Competition and the Open Series. It's all done through compete.playstation.com, and it's really great, Mustard, for me, that I think the two things go hand in hand. You know, you've got Open Series on one side, you've got the Pro Comp. Pro Comp really is that best of the best, where Open Series, whilst we definitely have our fair share of pro players, this bracket is a perfect example of that. We welcome everyone. You know, this is a perfect way to dive into tournaments for the first time.
Yeah, it really has been that for a long time as well. And onto the matter at hand, Open Series is what we are here for the next few hours. We have North America ready to go, and this is an ongoing thing. We had Open Series last week, which means that some of you watching might be able to use a reminder of some of the action and a little bit of a teaser as to what to expect today. So let's check out this recap on last week's Open Series action. Week 2 of January for Europe began with Do Basic showing off some of that signature Cabal speed, both in playstyle and the length of the set itself, defeating newcomer Froggy FGC with a quick 3-1.
Do Basic just made really hard reads, and speaking of, look at the damage! Look at the damage!
41%. That's so good for Cabal. And now Froggy. Yeah, that was a difficult position at the end. And that is going to be the brutality just to seal the deal. Scorpion specialist Mirko started off strong against Law Corridor, but a reverse 3 matches straight proved that the master of the Mercies was no joke at all. Desarted and Sui Frazier were both coming off recent tournament wins, and they gave us a champion level match with Sui Frazier coming out on top in a final hit moment. Newcomer Esoteric came out the gate at a breakneck pace against reigning champion Asodamatsu, but seemed to run out of fuel the longer the set went on.
Oh, God! Can he stay alive? Needs a real master comeback. Now he's denied!
This is business. You make me fight for it. This.
Both Do Basic and Law Corridor had won the Open Series in the past with previous mains, but Joker would barely edge out the win against Cabal this time.
One hit away, gonna get it with the L3.
Asodamatsu and Sui Frazier gave us another true back-and-forth set between champions, where Asodamatsu would make the final adaptation and win the set. None of 3 different counterpick attempts from Law Corridor in the upper finals managed to find any success at all, as Asodamatsu advanced to the grand finals. In the lower bracket, Desarted managed to win a hard-fought runback against Sui Frazier, who had defeated him previously, but he couldn't overcome Law Corridor's switch to Jackie Briggs. Law Corridor earned another chance to overcome Asodamatsu, but another rough match confirmed his uncomfortability against Cetrion, as Asodamatsu won his 3rd Open Series tournament in a row. North America began with the return of S-Ryu Pain, who found a tough time taking on consistent top placer Aztec and his signature Kotal Khan. El Cacoy also made an Open Series return with a vengeance, bringing that classic Sub-Zero mix against Tweedy. After a loss with Jade, Mighty Unjust quickly switched to Shang Tsung and swept the set against TBD Adams' Noob Saibot.
This is your multiple-time champion here, just putting on the clinic.
The break immediately, and the wake-up grab into brutality. Now, Mighty Unjust, does he morph? Does he become a ninja? Does he give us the Easter egg? Come on. No.
Well-known player from outside the Open Series, Nubcakes, burst onto the scene with extreme aggression that gave Ellis Muerto no chance to retaliate. Moving forward to the semi-finals, despite El Cacoy's best attempts to zone him out, Emperor Aztec found his way in time and time again to take the set 3-0.
Now he can't take any of those trades. Jaguar's in play. Very smart by Cacoy and the patience. And oh no!
My God.
Why did he ground her up?
A high-flying Jackie mirror between Mighty Unjust and Nubcakes ended with the Mighty Unjust coming out as the better Briggs this bracket. Emperor Aztec and the Mighty Unjust was quickly becoming a classic Open Series matchup, but just like previous weeks, the Mighty Unjust controlled the match at every turn, advancing to Grand Finals.
I'm going to be honest, folks, I've lost count of how many Grand Finals he's even been in. That is absolute insanity.
Tweedy rampaged through lower bracket, winning the run back against El Cacoy, but finally hitting a roadblock in the form of Emperor Aztec's Kotal Khan. Grand Finals would be a repeat of the upper bracket finals in player matchup, character matchup, and results, as the Mighty Unjust continued to be Emperor Aztec's tournament demon and win yet another week of the North American Open Series.
PlayStation.
And when it comes to previous champions, people that have been able to do very well in Open Series, Mighty Unjust has absolutely
There really
been...
isn't much to say, is there? Just
no,
look.
I mean, yeah, just take a look, use your eyes. Mighty Unjust has been the undisputed best of North America. We did just have Do Basic stop Asodamatsu's reign of terror, though. He was about a 4P. Asodamatsu got the bracket reset and everything else, but Do Basic clutched it out in the end, which was a really exciting grand finals. Bracket reset, game 5, final round. It was a good time all round, but I mean, we just continue to ask the question, don't we, Mustard? Mighty Unjust, is anyone going to be able to dethrone this guy?
Well,
But
honestly,
this bracket has a good chance.
No, I wanted to say this because I feel like we've said this exact same thing before, because we have a stacked top 8
No,
here.
this is the one.
No, because we have Javier versus Breaking, we have Tweedy versus Teaser, El Cacoy, Mighty Unjust, and then King Gambler and Biohazard. This is one of the more stacked brackets that we have seen in the North American Open Series, but we have said, excuse me, this exact thing numerous times in the past. And Unjust, I mean, he enters everything, right? Whether it's community tournaments, whether it's pro comp, whether it's Open Series, he is playing all the time, and he is successful in other places, but nothing quite holds the candle to his success in Open Series, right? You know, they're playing for prize money every week. He's always here, really putting in that 150% and getting most of the time this 251st place prize that you can see on your screen here for top 4. Something about Open Series is just Unjust's just comfort zone. There really is no other way to put it. He is just so monstrously successful here, more than anything else that he plays in. But today could be another test for him. You know, today is going to be that test, and that does actually take me on to my predictions of today for North America. And my number one is this is going to be one of the more stacked brackets that we have had. He is always the one to bet on. He is the one to really, you know, if you're putting your chips down on one player to win, Unjust has proven time and time again to be that player. But this week is going to be a true test. There is no getting around that. He has some fierce competition. He has some players he hasn't played in a long time. Some players maybe he hasn't played before, potentially. Who knows? Like, we'll see. At the very least, it's been quite a while. But kind of taken away from Unjust for a sec, you know, talking about some of the other players in this top 8, because we have players like Gambler, Tweedy, Teaser, the return of Breaking, obviously, he's always here. El Cacoy, the brother, is here for Mighty Unjust to take on. I think that King Gambler versus Bio could be one of the most interesting round 1 games, because Gambler, that true Nightwolf specialist, do we see Bio go for the Nightwolf mirror? Do we see him go with the Baraka, the Kano? Who knows? There are so many options that we could get to. And I personally can't wait to see which is going to be the best.
I always get really excited whenever I check out that North American bracket, because it's a major mixed bag and there's a lot of character representation often. When it comes to EU, you know, we get a lot of familiar faces because they are the best of those that enter Open Series. But you kind of know what you're getting, right? And that's almost hypocritical because Mighty Unjust wins every week. But there's always that chance that you just get that one American pro player that you rarely see that plays this interesting character. And this week, that's Gambler. Teaser, who does play a lot of characters as well. We've seen Teaser debut Rambo before, the first ever Rambo
Tweedy
player.
versus Teaser is low-key, what I think could be one of the funnest matches of the day.
I think it absolutely
this
could.
Could be really cool.
Absolutely could. And before we jump into round 1, don't worry, we're going to start our game. I'm sure you want to see the action. It is compete.playstation.com. That is how you get involved in not only the Open Series, but the MK11 Pro competition. The World Circuit taking a step into the online realm, where we're in full swing. We really are. We just had North America week 2 wrap up, EU the week before that. And it's going well. You know, it's a really fun time all round. But at the same time, Open Series is continuing as well. So big shouts to Sony PlayStation, the PS4 tournaments, for your continued support of the fighting game scene. You know, the entire FGC very much appreciates that. And you've been very kind to the Mortal Kombat scene. And on that note, let's jump into Game 1, Mustard.
Yes, we have Javier M2KG versus Breaking. So Breaking is a player that, I mean, what could I say that we haven't said dozens of times over the months? You know, he really has continued to be one of the most regular faces across the Open Series for North America. I feel like generally one of the most, I guess, consistently placing top 8 players we have. I feel like almost every single week he's here in some way, making it work. Mixture of Liu Kang, Sub-Zero, you name it. He's given it a go. And his results, again, you know, we talk very often about players that have that kind of journey of at the start of Open Series, looking a little bit like diamonds in the rough, you know, a little bit rough around the edges. You can see the idea, but maybe there's a few elements missing in their gameplay. To, you know, fast forward the clocks to most of a year, like 8 months, these players that have played the entire time, it's night and day how much better they are in terms of their results they've achieved, players they've been able to take out. And Breaking is forever one of those shining examples. However, on the flip side, we have Javier, a player we have seen before in Open Series, albeit not for quite some time, but an Aaron Black player from Florida. We haven't seen him for a long time, but we have to remember, to even be in this top 8 for the Tuesday, you have to be one of the top places in the Monday qualifiers. You know, the Monday qualifiers, they're Swiss-style tournaments. They're a bit of a grind. They're quite a gauntlet, especially down to like the later stages. Most of these players will play against each other in the Monday. So a lot of these guys would have already have beaten some of the other favorites that you would have seen, you know, week in, week out here. But quite a good match to start off. I'm assuming it's going to be Aaron Black versus Sub-Zero, but it could be different. These are definitely two characters that customs have been generous to. I think Aaron Black especially, considering we've quite recently actually seen Aaron Black win a pro competition tournament. Josh in EU was able to win.
Josh TQ.
Mainly because of the down Peacemaker. And that's kind of the main thing I want to focus on kind of going into this, is I wonder if that's the element that we're going to see of Aaron Black moving into the rest of this kind of year of competition, because he does have a lot of custom moves that make sense. The question is, how do they work well together? How much of them are matchup dependent? Like, I kind of low-key feel like Erron Black is a character that has a lot of options specifically for certain characters. But we'll see if that's what we're going to be seeing here, as it looks like a lot of Erron Black players will still favor the enhanced locked and loaded, so they keep the meterless launcher, keep the combo potential. And Breaking going with the Liu Kang in the end. Okay, so he is going with the Liu Kang.
Which is rare footage of Breaking playing Liu Kang these days. Normally it is pretty much Sub-Zero all the way. This one's going to be that Dragon Fire buff, the parry, the low fireball. It's a common variation, for sure. But at the same time, we'll see how this will fare. Erron Black, the down Peacemaker. Something that I think Erron Black players really kind of wrote off early when Ultimate came out, but is becoming pretty important to his kit, to be honest. The more experience that Erron Black players get with that move in particular. But I'm interested,
Definitely
man.
is looking like it. But the big thing here, though, it's down Peacemaker and still Scud Shot. So the acid pour completely foregone.
I have absolutely no idea what that variation name is.
I was trying to make sense of it, but I'm drawing a blank.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I have no idea. It looks a bit like something that shouldn't be on here, but you know what? Let's go into this round one. Anyway, there's the immediate weight and the block on the low. And we start to bring up that classic Erron Black, man. We get that forward throw. What's it going to be? A character that's pretty stubby. You know, I think that's one of the things that the low shot really kind of deals with, is you can use those advancing mids into Peacemaker, and it's something that you couldn't really do with Erron before. I mean, you could,
well,
but it's
no,
not as good.
that is the main point of down Peacemaker, though, right? Like, it's a move that it moves him back. We can see the confirmed counter hit. He actually might be dead here. Fatal blow. Yeah, I think he's dead. Already starting off strong in this round is Javier. Okay, not bad. But just give us a second to talk about this down Peacemaker a little bit. Actually, no, he's not dead. No way. Oh, okay. I thought he'd be dead for sure. Unless Breaking can avoid. Yeah, there it is. But no, so let's take a second to talk about the down Peacemaker, because this is like a very much a new move we're seeing used competitively, where it's a retreating low shot. You know, previously to kind of before Ultimate, it's been slowed down a bit. It now actually does hit as a low. Beforehand, it was a mid. But it's unsafe on paper now. But that still doesn't mean it's always a danger to throw out. There are a lot of characters that straight up can't punish it. Like right there, there's going to be a true low. With the amount of overheads that Erron Black has in his best buttons, and there's going to be a consistent problem to deal with.
There's that knockdown. Going in for that jump. The empty jump standing one. You know, really trying to catch you off guard with that one. But as we go back to this kind of jump distance, Erron Black always looking for that Scud Shot. It's so risky to throw projectiles. Pushing in, and it's going to be Breaking. Challenging the plus frames on hit, actually. That is tricky.
Counter hit, max range.
Fatal blows in play.
Yeah, and there it is, baited, but no punish. I think he just tried to down Peacemaker, like, raw punish.
No,
it did not reach.
I think what might have happened there is he tried to do advancing button into it. And ended up getting actually too early.
Maybe like a forward 3 or something like that.
Yeah, what's that advancing mid that he's got? I can't remember the exact button, but it's a mid that Erron Black players weren't really using before.
Forward ones, like the shoulder barge, forward 3s, the kick. Like, he has a couple. But I do like the way that down Peacemaker is being used now, though, because you have to remember, even if you're playing a character that can punish down Peacemaker, it's still a tight punish, and he still has enough, like, built-in options. Like, it is a low, so it is like a less payout version of the slide, as it were. So if you want to enforce like back 2 low, back 2 down Peacemaker is now a kind of safer, less risky version of the back 2 slide and things like that. But it really has kind of served that purpose. It kind of takes those core buttons of Erron, those strong overheads, and just gives you that really nice complementary tool to go alongside them. Now Breaking sticking with Liu Kang for now. Breaking, we do say, one of the more regular faces in the Open Series. Definitely took a little bit of time to get into his stride, but definitely a solid player all around. And I like the combination of Scud Shot and down Peacemaker, because you still kind of keep that neutral. I think Scud Shot is a very strong neutral tool, especially against characters that have strong fireballs. Because if they really thrive on those fireballs, it's just a one-size-fits-all kind of like denier of it in its entirety. Right there. Liu Kang's low fireball, one of the stronger projectiles in the game, but Scud Shot nullifies it completely.
But this kind of jump distance, if you have that kind of projectile game into your game plan, it's one of the things that Erron Black, I think, really can deal with, is, you know, thanks to the Scud Shot and stuff like that. But when he's playing in a matchup where he can't really sit full screen, it's not that beneficial for him. He is kind of stuck to those somewhat stubby buttons, isn't he? That's why you see him play characters like Cacoy, for example, that they just kind of swing at all kinds of distance, maybe even 3 times the reach he has. And in even those situations, he thinks you're going to press, he sticks out his button. It's pretty stubby, all things considered. So, as an Aaron Black player, I almost feel like you kind of just need to play him as his own character. There's very little kind of, I don't want to say little universal MK11 stuff, but he's definitely a bit of a specific example, isn't he? There's a lot of Aaron specialists out there, and they kind of have to be.
Oh, empty jump, however. The anti-air throw from breaking has the buff up, but still not going to kill. Oh, big drop kick. I respect it. I respect it.
No. I think we were going to say the same thing. I think the back-to-back drop kick was almost too obvious.
Round 2, fight.
But still, though, breaking. I don't think he fuzzied the low. I think he literally just straight up just crouched.
Oh,
big whiff
no.
punish, though. He can't be whiffing against Liu Kang in forward 4 range. Oh, he tries.
Wake up.
Now, breaking, a Liu Kang player that still rocks the parry a lot of the time, but like the traditional strike parry. I feel like a lot of Liu Kang players kind of forego it, but breaking definitely still picks it. Big trip guard. Break just to stay safe, but going to lose the life lead thanks to this throw back to the wall as well. Not a great situation to be in. Another throw, forward throw no less, so still a good situation for Javier. And that down Peacemaker. And again,
here we go. Oh, the down Peacemaker mustard. I saw many Aaron Black players when Ultimate came out being like, nah, I don't think it's all that. And then after, time to grind and experimentation really turns out to be one of his key moves right now.
Big launch. Ending the acid. What's it going to be? Oh, the mix-up. While standing in acid, too. The damage just adds up. Now, where next? You see just one more bullet in that magazine. Well, actually, no, I've called it a magazine before, and people have commented on it. It's something else. It's not that. I know it's not
Isn't
that.
it? I thought it was a clip. Isn't it?
It's something. I don't remember, but it is also not important. Oh, counter hit!
Oh, good lord. Yeah, that instant break, the grab, and the micro duck immediately to challenge.
The question is, does he actually die to this? Because it is Liu Kang fatal blow, but still, I don't think it will do that much.
I don't think so.
And it might be quite hard for him to finish it off too, because the scud shot.
And fatal blow. Oh, the flawless block on the fireball, letting it rock. There's the reversal punish.
He also flawless blocked Aaron Black fatal blow. Imagine that. He flawless blocked Aaron Black fatal blow, completely nullifying the chip, and then a punish with a fly kick. That was clean from breaking.
Flawless blocking the fatal blow, is that not that he only just blocked it in time? Because you haven't got time to react to that.
I mean,
very
maybe,
nearly hit him.
Maybe.
When I see someone flawless block a fatal blow, that says to me, like, they almost got hit by it. Almost. But it doesn't matter because they did block it and they did get the punish. Now, in this case, we're 1-1. It shouldn't take us too long now. Jump back straight into the next matchup. But it's always really nice to see. It's nice to see Aaron Black players kind of like still really stick at the variation or stick at the character, no matter what's going on.
I feel like, at least competitively speaking, there aren't that many Aaron Black players left still playing the character. I think a lot of them have kind of moved on to other characters over time. And, you know, I think a lot of people still play the character that originally played Aaron, but definitely not as like an exclusive one character, and that's it. Although now we are getting a variation that is foregoing the down Peacemaker and the cattle toss, so the command grab instead. So it looks like for Javier, the scud shot on the locked and loaded, or the enhanced version, does seem to be like, that's the core. Like, when you've got those two, you're still playing the Aaron that you want. But the command grab, is that going to help too much? Because I actually feel like he was getting a lot of mileage out of the down Peacemaker. I actually don't think that breaking blocked it a single time. It's just a question of whether you would rather have something else, right? The command grab, quite a high damage ender as a combo, quite a high damage by itself. Because was it 150 or was it 180? 170, it's in between. But that's quite a lot for a single special.
Already, though, we are seeing that there has been a variation change. All the same, the command grab coming out, getting a bit more of that point-blank presence. Definitely seems like Aaron Black, and it's similar to a Noob Cybot effect, where a lot of Aaron players, they do have these different variations just depending on what character they're against, right?
But this could be the next layer, though. The down Peacemaker, I feel like, is like a true mix-up they have to deal with on block. But without it, without something like that, cancelling into scud shot is not going to be quite as true. Oh, there's the crushing blow. Double overhead.
Oh, roll into down one. Okay, breaking, getting quite risky here. Oh, didn't punish the back roll. I think he maybe thought he would, but the back throw again, breaking. Round on the board, confirmed. Officially up in the set now. It's changed the cattle toss. Not making a huge impact so far, but there's still plenty of time. But you're seeing how much different it is though, right? There's the punish. Oh, keeping it clean. Side switch, no less. That's not bad damage either, just for like a string into special.
Pushing it back, trying to build him towards that bicycle kick. Always going to be important. The free activations too. Any opportunity you can activate that Shaolin buff really can be a bit of a deal maker. Plus frames. Oh, bit of matchup knowledge though from Javier, I think, perhaps Mustard. The down fourth, low profile, what comes afterwards, even though he's technically minus.
I mean, Aaron Black, he still is quite the annoyance when it comes to going under things, whether it's sweep, whether it's down four. Still one of the stronger elements to his game plan. Oh, anti-air into the acid. That was clean. Oh, but the punish, fatal blow breaking. Gonna find the moment. Fatal blow ready to go. Gonna work. And that's good. I mean, that's death. There's no way he survives this one. He's got to be dead. Yeah, there it is. Breaking's officially up in the set now. 2-1. I wonder if we're going to see another variation change. Because again, the cattle toss. This is the kind of situation that when you're changing on the fly, I can see it being quite stressful. Because I genuinely feel like the first variation that Javier brought to the table wasn't actually bad. I feel like the down Peacemaker was doing its job. It was kind of keeping him safe in situations. It was hitting most of the time and kind of really enforcing the discomfort of blocking against Aaron Black, right? His two real kind of like main strings, his standing two, has the overheads at the end, his back two is like mostly overheads. So having that good low option, especially if those are the buttons that you're really building your game around, just helps you get more off of them. It's a cattle toss we really weren't seeing as much. Do we see another one though? Actually looks like he has quite a lot of variations created in total at the very least. But I think he's gone back to the original variation that we saw, so the down Peacemaker should be coming back. But already the Scud shot, such a strong move.
Original variation that we started with, and we're going to be rocking it through. But breaking
Scud shot is still low-key one of the better moves in the game. I really do.
I mean, it just nullifies a lot of really important tools. You know, it is a very important move to take for sure.
Okay, dash up grab. Remember breaking. He's gotten so much better as a player over the months in Open Series. I think a big part of it, though, is as well the confidence in when to go for Liu Kang, when to go for Sub-Zero. So he's always played them both, but we never really kind of got a feel for when would dictate which character. The last couple months, particularly breaking, really has kind of narrowed it down. Oh, hello.
Oh, that was sneaky. Going in for the buff into a turn, stealing down one. Oh, my lord. And that Shaolin buff just giving you so much extra damage. There's that low shot. I mean, I feel like we were all waiting for it, but it's what's the reaction, right? Anti-air standing one into down two. Wow. That is crispy anti-air.
Low again. Yeah, remember those parries, they do lose to lows. Oh, raw fly kick though.
Another buff. This time I like the immediate down one. That's the immediate adaptation. Not letting him steal a turn anymore.
Well, activating buff on block into buttons definitely isn't a thing anyway. It's just a question of whether you think you can get away with it or not, I suppose. There's the down Peacemaker again. Roll through. Oh, with punish. Now breaking. If he gets one opening here. Plus frames, good chance. But the patience, Javier respecting. Oh, and the first time. Oh, no.
Fatal blow. He tried so hard.
That was the first time that breaking is blocked overhead. It didn't work out, but no! Back-to-back hits off a jump at a unfortunate time for Javier. Does lead into it.
Well, that's going to be breaking doing what breaking has been doing for months on end, Mustard, which is just get past that first round. You know what I mean? Like he's just a... I haven't seen his Liu Kang actually since Ultimate. He has been rocking almost like exclusively Sub-Zero, and now, you know, we're in the age of Liu Kang a bit, I guess, working on it for different matchups. Maybe that is one of those matchups. I know some people say Aaron Black versus Sub-Zero. I know a long time ago Aaron Black players did not like that match, but You never know. You never know. And Javier given a couple of variations a try, but ultimately breaking, just doing the breaking things here in Open Series, and that's just game one, done and dusted.
I like his variation though. You have the, you have the buff activation just for a bit more damage. You have the low fireball, of course, because Liu Kang players they don't seem to have very much reason to ever not take that. But then that parry, even though we didn't see him hit it a lot, I mean, if ever, we saw him fishing for it a bunch. And we've seen Breaking before have some real, like, momentum shifts on the back of that parry. So it's nice to see him kind of still sticking to his guns. On the flip side, though, Javier, the Arrow and Black going to be dropping down to losers early on. But I think it really does go back to what we were saying before, right? We know Breaking has been a player that's been in the Open Series for a very long time. We've seen him get a lot better over the months. And this is kind of a testament to that, where now we are actively looking for him to do well. I feel like early on it was like, oh, Breaking's here, it is what it is. He's probably going to lose in the first round or so, because that is largely what would happen to him for the first kind of couple of months or so. But now, I mean, Breaking, I feel like he's almost like a favorite to make top 4 every time. He's taken sets over some of the best players in the North American Open Series many times, and he definitely has gotten better and better over time by doing that. But we are moving into our second match now, which is definitely one of the matches we were looking forward to watching particularly, and it's going to be Tweedy versus Teaser. Now, this is a match between two players, very strong. Tweedy is definitely one of the more kind of like, I would say wider known players in the community. Tweedy definitely has gone from strength to strength across various games, whether it was like late MKX where he first started competing to almost all of Injustice where he was getting like second place at the World Finals, and now, a final Kombat finalist, a solid player across the board, really knows how he wants to play the game, very confident in his opinions, very confident in his gameplay, and his results do largely speak for themselves as well. We have to remember these player profiles, these wins and losses, they are tracked via basically just 2021, so these are only over the last kind of handful of weeks, but definitely impressive nonetheless. Teaser, on the other hand, a player that we know a lot for doing a lot of work alongside the local scene, the East Coast, New York, kind of MK11, NetherRealm offline community's definitely been a big part of that world, but also definitely not a bad player at all. Has had some success himself, especially online, and I'm excited to see him play.
Teaser has always been a fan of those kind of heavy-hitting bruiser characters, as well as he plays the Geras himself. He was the first player in Open Series to bring Rambo to the table.
That's
now,
true.
Tweedy with the Geras, the big thing we always, I think, have to mention here is that Tweedy, I think he was kind of struggling with Melina. He really wanted to play Melina, but I just don't think he gels with the character. So he's gone back to Geras. And since he's gone back to Geras, he's been a lot more successful. But this could, by all means, be a pretty close series. It actually looks like he might have even gone with what is basically just the Dark Fate variation, but that's an immediate whiff on the 1-2-1. And a forward 3 for Geras to pick it up.
And look at that damage though, Geras, bed of spikes forever. One of the low-key, bigger damaging options in the game. Like, not something we see too often either. I feel like a lot of Geras players, by and large, they either build the variation, like they almost always have quick sand. It's just, do they have bed of spikes or do they have the sand clone? That seems to be the one or the other.
And Tweedy just playing that ranged game, right? That defensive game. Trying to get a reversal. Oh, there's the up 2 though, with Tizak having no choice but to concede that one. But Tweedy and his Geras, I mean, if you describe it, it's pretty simple, but in the best way. He's so good at just breaking everything down to its absolute core mix-up.
Interrupt.
Like right there, interruption. Simple matchup knowledge or whatever. Anything that bags him a heavy-hitting punish, Tweedy has that on lock. His flawless block game is like insanely efficient. His flawless blocks are fantastic. Whether it's that kind of meaty middle grab game, he always seems to get the right call.
Oh my goodness.
Hit, by the way. Ugh.
What a game. Was that flawless? No, that's going to be
just shy
a
of.
Tiny chip. Tiny amount of chip.
Just shy of.
That's actually, I would say, a token Tweedy game. I think you definitely hit the nail in the head where Tweedy, he's always been a Geras player. We're talking like day one Geras main. Not a flashy player by any sense. Doesn't do anything overly swag or really... super flash, super hype. He plays his game. He strips back to exactly what it was he wants to do with the character, and Geras is a perfect choice for a player like that. Tweedy, he is a very smart player. He puts almost more hours into the game than anyone else. And I know, especially back to when he was like at the peak of his kind of like newfound success was Injustice 2. I think Tweedy ended up having like the highest hours of almost anyone in the competitive community in that game. And that general overlook and kind of like work ethic definitely transferred over to this game. I think the difference is Tweedy, he definitely says online about, he takes a lot of breaks in the game as well. So, when he feels like he's going to take a step back, take a break away, do some other things, he does that. But that's all stuff you need to do to kind of like keep yourself fresh, right? Even part of being a competitive player and really successful comes with knowing when to take your foot off the gas a little bit, when to take things a little more calm. And Tweedy does a lot of that. And you see him still being successful anyway. Clearly, whatever he does works for him. But we are seeing Teaser go for the mirror now with the immediate swap, where he does still have the Titan tackle. So we're going to see the command grab instead. Big whiff punish again, though. And Tweedy doesn't have that command grab. What he does have is damage in spades. Oh, hello.
Oh, that Geras down 2. Catch it nice and high up. Impressive damage. This isn't quite a mirror match. So Teaser does have the sand simulacrum, so there is that. However, carrying him right out of the corner. That dark side skin, man, this looks so sick. Right, detonate. Even more pressure. Tweedy probably banking on some kind of tick throw there, I imagine.
I imagine so, yeah. He did get hit after the forward 2, which is a very common tick throw option. But again, ooh, hello. Raw down 2. Oh, punished on the hit. We're going to see it. Does you see Fatal Blow?
Yeah.
Make it
Because
completely
that guarantees you could have done a combo that kills without it, but then they could have broke or whatever. And this Fatal Blow is an absolute surefire way to win the round. And that's going to be well worth it. As Tweedy not only has the first round, but he's got Teaser back against the wall.
Tweedy just sitting there, just patient. Clearly just waiting for something so he can take his turn. Teaser, however, on the other side, getting clipped there after the forward 2. Oh, both bars spent. This is going to hurt. And no point in breaking, just accept the damage. But still, 420 damage. That is quite considerable. Pow! Optimal whiff punish. Oh, that forward 2 leg break crushing blow. And there it is again, punish. Tweedy, so good at forcing situations that you want to press, but he's already pressed a button that is going to punish you for pressing. That was such a good round from Tweedy.
And as we go into our next game, we ask the question, does Teaser stick with Geras now? Does he change character? We've seen Teaser play all kinds of characters in Open Series.
I mean,
the small amount of appearances he's had, he doesn't enter it all that often as far as I'm aware.
I mean, we've seen Teaser, like, as long as I've seen Teaser play this game, he has played a lot of characters. He's played Aaron, he's played Fujin, he's played Terminator, he's played Rambo, Geras, like, the list goes on. He's definitely not one to shy away from playing multiple characters, and that's because he's solid at the game. Right now, though, things are definitely slipping past him as he does go back to Geras once again. Potentially, oh no. He is. But it is a different variation at the very least, so he's trying something different. Tweedy, however,
but I think
really sticking.
That kind of match was so one-sided for Tweedy that it's really hard to gauge whether the matchup had anything to do with that loss. It's one of those tricky situations where it's like, was that because I was Geras, or was it just because it just so happened to be a game where Tweedy just got everything right? It's very hard to make that decision on the fly, but here we go now. What could be the final game here? Oh, good lord. Now, that's actually normally something Tweedy's really good at, being able to confirm that splash into a single hit into better spikes. But one of the first times I think I've ever seen him miss it. This is what I mean. His game plan is on face value so simple, but somehow he is always ready for what you do, and he punishes you with so much damage because of his variation. Like Tweedy's Geras, it's one of the most sensible Gerases I've ever seen. And again, there's the 1-1, not quite able to get the confirm. Oh, that's a mix-up.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
That's a high damage mix-up. Now Teaser has no choice but to press, but he's going to get the hit. 1 bar spent here. What's it going to be? Ending the clone. Yeah, Tweedy. There it is.
I tell you what, I like that wake up down 1 from Tweedy. It's fast, it's long reaching. Geras, when he drops the clone, he's not like point blank and guaranteed this kind of like plus 50 meet you or whatever. So if you have a long reaching down 1, you might actually be able to challenge them. Now here comes Teaser, trying to answer back. Empty jump, the respect, good block on the overhead. Oh, he's trying to press.
He really is threatening that forward 1 crushing blow as well as Tweedy. In the second you've got no breakaway, he'll just cash out for even more. Yep, again, good reactions. Nice pickup. That would have been really funny if they both did quicksand at the same time.
Yo, the shifting sand pulled him in. Oh, there's the confirm. Teaser, big damage incoming. Tweedy, does he cash out?
Oh, both
he does.
bars.
He always cashes out. If he's got 2 bars, he'll spend it just for that 40% damage.
Ugh, 39, but still close enough. Again, good fuzzy. And now the stagger. Oh, is that death? I think it might be. Oh, just enough. And Tweedy with a dominant 3-0 win.
That's not close enough to be a friendship.
I mean, we've seen Geras' friendship so many times. I think
it's time
we'll see
to
like
peel.
a second of the into. Oh, disgusting. That one really is just gross, isn't it?
Yes. But of course, Tweedy getting a decisive win here with another good opportunity to just show why I think his Geras is a return to form. Geras has been his most successful character for all of MK11, and now he's kind of not quite able to gel with Melina. And to be honest, Melina never really felt much like a Tweedy character to me. I don't know if that sounds really bizarre, but I think Geras kind of fits his style a lot better.
I actually disagree. I think looking at the way Melina kind of ended up being fleshed out, where, you know, the way we'll kind of see most of Melina, it's very back one focused. It's like command grab, down 3 on hit, you know, down 3 giving you that kind of real mix up of on hit you can guarantee a mid, but at the same time you've got the command grab for the, you know, the kind of the true 50-50. I think you have strong elements. So if you want to play Melina with that very kind of like, again, very stable, very no fuss, no flash, but just built for the game, I think she can do that. But the biggest problems she has are like issues that are quite bad in the game. Like low damage before breakaway is something that I know a lot of Melina players have said they're not a fan of. Like bull roll is your go-to combo option, but you can break it before any damage is done, so you end up doing like no damage if they break. But I feel like getting damage, even if it's unbreakable, is definitely quite a big part of this game, and that is an element that Geras has very much so, especially if you run Bed of Spikes. Like if you're going from Bed of Spikes, Geras, to like Melina, your unbreakable damage is nosediving, and that's not something you can really avoid. That does mean that Breaking versus Tweedy is going to be our first winners round 2 match, but before we get to that round, we do have a couple more matches left to go. The next of which is going to be the brotherly battle, El Cacoy versus Mighty Unjust. Not the first time we've seen it, but it has been quite a while since we saw it. Well, on Open Series, I think it's been a fair while since we saw them face off against each other in round 1 like this.
It has been, and there's a strong possibility that it's going to be Mighty Unjust picking that Jackie Briggs, because what probably hasn't changed is that El Cacoy doesn't like fighting the character, and that's something that Mighty Unjust, even against his own brother, you know, if he knows you struggling against a character, he'll pick it, and it used to be upgraded.
Man, you're competing, you got to play to win.
Yeah, exactly, but Upgraded used to be that character, and although I've not seen them face off since Ultimate came out, I think a safe assumption is that it will just be upgraded now for Jackie. And El Cacoy, we've definitely seen the most Sub-Zero from El Cacoy since Ultimate kind of made its competitive scene. So I think maybe Sub-Zero versus Jackie is the matchup we can expect. It's kind of hard to say because the two of them do play so many characters. But I do think Sub or Joker versus Jackie is what we expect here.
I would assume so, but I think I would be very surprised if we saw something that wasn't Jackie out of Mighty Unjust, unless he's been working on something new, something kind of specific. Because, it's like we've said before, we've seen Unjust versus Cacoy before. That is usually the go-to pick for Unjust. And even then, I feel like the more we see MK11 Ultimate, the more we're seeing Unjust play Jackie anyway. I think Unjust has always kind of dabbled in the character, but as the character kind of progressively gets stronger and stronger, if you do play Jackie, it makes little sense to not have a Jackie right now competitively, because we know she's incredibly powerful, she's very strong, she has one of the strongest variations in the game, and the success of it does speak for itself. You know, Jackie has been tearing up tournaments with this kind of upgraded plus, you know, the upgraded plus grenade launcher kind of variation. And Mighty Unjust has definitely been one of those real kind of forefronts of that variation. When he wasn't really playing that much Jackie before, but we know Unjust, he plays the roster, right? He plays like every character in the game, so it's fair to assume if he thinks something is strong, he's going to put time into it and make it work. But I don't want to say, you know, speak too soon. I think Unjust is clearly the favorite, but We know that El Cacoy and Unjust, they do play a lot. They are basically training partners. They do play all the time. And with that does usually come some unpredictability when they meet in tournament. And how many times have you seen training partners face each other in tournament and then they almost barely even look like the same player? Because there's that next level of either familiarity or knowing what they can and can't get away with a little bit more against players they maybe haven't put as much time against. But it should be exciting, even though I'm thoroughly expecting it to be Jackie versus Sub-Zero, at least at the start. Unless Unjust is working on something else.
Mate, on that note, it looks like we're jumping in. Jade from El Cacoy. Now, so we were going by previous information and already seeing, so half of it is correct, that Mighty Unjust will be playing the Jackie here. And I almost feel like perhaps El Cacoy with the Jade, this might in fact be his answer for it. Or at least, for him, his closest approximation to the answer for this character, because Jade, and she has got some buttons for it. She has the glow, which will shut down the grenade launcher, you would think. And then you have some of the kind of extra tools that might help you out. You know, you've got things like the air glaive in combination of everything else. And already starting off with a down 2, but counter hit on Wake Up. El Cacoy trying to immediately challenge, but Delia's Dance. I think the cool thing about Delia's Dance is that when you land a hit on the ground, you can just get plus frames without having to do amplified glaive. You know, it's all meterless.
Yeah, it's resource friendly. We know Jade has definitely been a decent answer against Jackie for quite a while on paper. Who are used to playing each other. I mean, we've said before, right? El Cacoy, he said he hates fighting against Jackie so many times.
Oh my god, okay.
But that
if
right
at first
there,
you don't succeed, leap until it works.
But that's going to be a big answer here, though, for Jackie in this matchup, is that uppercut. That Jade down 2 goes so fast for a decent chunk of damage. At the same time, you've got like your down 4 to stick out, make it a little bit more difficult for Jackie to approach. You do have the answers.
He's really mixing up when he does Delia's Dance to make it a bit harder to challenge as well. Unjust is going to get a knockdown all the same. Down 1, but no button press. This does mean, oh, you want to try and flawless block, mate? Eat this, and a stagger into another grab. El Cacoy, Jade, she looks so simple. You know, she's very straightforward, but she is so efficient at what she does. Oh my lord. Hang on a minute. If you're, I tell you what, if you're El Cacoy, that probably felt pretty damn good. Because I lost count of how many times they played where El Cacoy would pick one of his characters and he'd have to fight Unjust's upgraded, and he would just get completely destroyed. He had no hope at winning against it. And now Ultimate's here. You can go, I really don't like that character. What can I do? Jade could be quite good. What can I give Jade that makes it quite good? And now here we are.
Exactly for that reason, though. This is kind of exactly what a lot of competitive players should be doing. You have a character that you just despise fighting in tournament, and you have to fight them in tournament all the time. Why would you not pick up a character that kind of does better against them? You know, in this case, Jade, we know I don't want to say she's a hard counter to Jackie, because I feel like the results just don't add up for that, but you can definitely see at least how Jade might have an easier time with the upgraded side of the character, right? The super jumps, the glow to go through shrapnel, the down 4 to stop the grounded approach. Like, you can see Jade having answers. But right here, here's the next layer. From one top tier to another, Mighty Unjust, this variation of Cetrion has been something that Unjust has been using a lot more, again, since Ultimate. In true fashion, pretty much everything I just said about Jackie, you can pretty much copy and paste and put it on his Cetrion. It's the same kind of idea.
I mean, look, in this matchup, Mighty Unjust has gone from arguably top 1 to arguably top 1. So this is still going to be a tricky matchup here for El Cacoy. However, certain options the glow will be able to nullify. And to be honest, with how things are currently going, this Jade is looking not too shabby at all. This Cetrion normally reserved for only Ice Scorpion, trying to catch it. Oh, a bit too far ahead, perhaps. The unsafe Delia's Dance. You have to amplify, but there's the up 3. Wow, okay, El Cacoy. This Jade looks well practiced.
It is so far. Half the work done now. El Cacoy gaming around. Oh, big whip punish, though. Oh, raw barrier. I wonder if he actually didn't want to do the button. He just wanted to be closer. Now, you don't be careful activating Glow if you're Jade. Glow is a really good option for getting past the ground pound, getting past the bolt of the beam, but it does lose to the tendrils. So you do have to watch for it.
Now, I mean, I guess my question is, though, Cetrion versus Jade. This probably wouldn't be too much of a matchup that El Cacoy has played in the past, surely. I've never seen him play this. So those small, finite matchup details, I do wonder if they're going to be as on the ball. Like, if we watched Asadamasa play this matchup, you already know what to expect. But with Unjust 2, this is very much Cetrion, one of his many characters. It's kind of harder to tell, I think. However, good flawless block and the barrier.
Virtue be upon you.
Now, Unjust, I think we must never count him out. You know, down in the set does rarely mean losing the set completely, especially for someone like Unjust. Has more wins in Open Series than anyone in any of the tournament leagues that we have here. And when that doesn't come, you know, not playing from behind a little bit, he's been used to it. And here's where that damage can really multiply. And the patience. I think Unjust really is just waiting for Delia's dance before ever taking his turn.
It's that risky business as well, letting the whole string rock. You know, you're going to try and release block. Let me call this one out. And at this full screen game, here we go. Glow instantly used. Chases it down.
Oh,
lets the whole
almost
thing
picked up completely. That would have been nice.
I like that. Using the knockdown rather than a little tiny bit of combo damage, activating the glow. And again, there's the mix-up. Amplify or no amplify. As a noob Cybot player, I'm sure Unjust is familiar with that mix.
Good dodging here on these boomerangs, but not quite a great trade. We're definitely going down to the wire here, but neither player... Oh, never mind. I was going to say, neither player in Fatal Blow territory, but that's quickly been undone. Oh, the punish! No bar to kill won't matter. The back-to-back barrier. Now, this, I imagine, will definitely be a matchup of character selects. I think we're going to be seeing non-stop changes, because even though we know that Jade can definitely fight Cetrion, I don't know if Jade would kind of be El Cacoy's go-to answer here. I think it's definitely a character he's put a lot less time into. But even then, you have to think of the long game when you're playing against someone like Unjust. Like, you can change away from Jade now for someone that might do better against the Jackie. The Cetrion, sorry. But then you have to deal with potentially the Jackie again. So you kind of have to think ahead and know, well, is this a character that's going to lose if he changes? If so, what can I do about it? Who else can I pick? El Cacoy wasting no time going straight back into it again. So it looks like this actually is going to be the go-to for the foreseeable in this set.
But it will be, yeah, all the way forward. I actually partially did think that maybe Sub would be the pick here. But I guess not. There's
you
a
have to
strong
fight Sub
possibility
against
that
the Jackie, you know, it's
exactly.
that next layer you have to think about and consider.
I think at the same time too, there's this major element of he could have just been under the waterfall with this Jade, man, like really practicing it, because she is.
It has been a while since we saw El Cacoy kind of this kind of regularly, so maybe a lot can happen in that time. Actually, it hasn't been a while since we saw El Cacoy. He was here last week, wasn't he?
No. I'll save you from that. You said regularly. You saved yourself with that second word.
Oh yeah, but I'm an honest man.
You shouldn't be. You could have gotten away with it.
I haven't done a couple of weeks of shows to my credit, but still, at least I picked up on it. So give me some credit.
The corner pressure now belonging to Mighty Unjust. This Cetrion. This is all iScorpion's fault. Mighty Unjust would never have played this if iScorpion didn't beat him with it 4 times.
That is actually true.
That's true words. Where's the lie? I'm not wrong. Mighty Unjust has unleashed this great evil of a top-tier Cetrion. And the fact that he just plays it so incredibly well. But in all seriousness, though, you know, a wise man once said, pick a top tier. In Cetrion, this is arguably the best variation in the entire game. Mighty Unjust can play every character in the game at a high level. We're playing for cash. He's the most successful player in Open Series. Him playing Cetrion makes perfect sense. He has the tools to make her really thrive.
For sure. Oh, big neutral jump. Oh, even bigger barrier. And the punish! That is going to be a clean game if ever I've seen it. Yep, corner pickup just for a little bit more damage. And Unjust. My goodness, what a game. 2-1 lead now. Quite the turnaround. Now, this is definitely an unfortunate spot to be in if you're El Cacoy. Because he won the first game. He kind of earned that kind of real counter pick advantage that is important in this kind of matchup. If you're against someone that, you know, is willing to change characters on you on the fly. But now he's one game away from losing the set, so he kind of can't really change at all anymore without some kind of serious problem with being picked against him. If he wins here, great. But if not,
oh no,
it's over. Yeah, we're gonna see the mirror. Okay, we are gonna see it. The
now
final
this
choice will just be the mirror.
This is not too shocking because if we actually look at this, situation, they play each other's characters. It's actually a rare thing. Back in our day when brothers competed, they kind of went out of their way to not play the same characters. This new wave of Mortal Kombat talent, they all play each other's characters.
That's because we were all weird hipsters.
Well, you know, things are different now. But the big thing is, of course they both play Cetrion. They both play a lot of characters, and she's arguably the best. So it makes sense. They both run it, and here comes the mirror match. This is very much, I mean, look, this is I think, wait a minute. Is this the mirror match of mirror match of mirror match? That we are commentating a mirror match of two twin brothers being commentated by two twin brothers.
And the twin brothers are playing the exact same variation in a game with a lot of choice.
Yo, this is like in a dimension I was not prepared to be in.
Also, there is a message on screen, so I feel like we're obligated to say, "Hi, Owen. How's it going?"
No, but he might have been asking Mighty Unjust to say hi to Owen.
Yeah, well, he's not a commentator, is he?
Hi, Owen.
The true mirror match. Currently going to Mighty Unjust in not too surprising fashion, though, I will say. Looking poised to get into this winners round 2, if he can seal out this round.
I mean, to be fair, he is highly experienced in this exact mirror match. It is, you give everyone a little bit of mini story time. Scorpion going into Ultimate, dominantly defeating Unjust, I think about 4 or 5 times when they collided in Open Series. And it was until Unjust went, you know what, screw this, I'm going to learn this character too, and I'm going to beat you in the mirror, which is exactly what happened. He learned Cetrion to beat Cetrion in the mirror match. So it's a mirror that he's going to be very skilled in.
I would actually argue this is probably the most comfortable he's looked in a single match in this set, and I think that's by and large the reason.
It's a far cry.
Block, though.
This is a very big far cry, you know, that catch-up story time where in the very first revision of the very first Mortal Kombat you couldn't mirror match at all.
Yo, I always forget that was the thing.
Yeah, it was. Ooh, that's a win for Mighty Unjust, who's going to get this victory. Probably friendship, because it wouldn't be Unjust without it. Here it is. But yeah, I mean, that was true facts back in 1992 for the first revision ever of Mortal Kombat that went in the arcades. Reptile wasn't even in the build at that point, actually. Reptile was added in revision 3, I'm pretty sure. But you couldn't mirror. So when you would go to the... this is not speaking from experience. I was born in 92, right? But friends of mine that grew up in the arcades, there used to be this thing. And I think it was prominent in other games where you couldn't mirror as well. But people would have to decide who's on what side of the screen. Because if you wanted, like, Sonya, who's on top left, if I remember, and you're on the top right as player 2, you're pretty much screwed because you can't put your coin in and scroll over fast enough for them to get the number 1, you know? So it's like, times have changed.
All the woes of old.
Times have changed, haven't they? But that would be Mighty Unjust, getting a win. Times don't change there. The struggle that time forgot.
I will say, if anything can be taken away from that set, I mean, I'm definitely not surprised that Unjust won. I feel like Unjust is going into every Open Series a clear favorite to win the entire thing, and he's definitely earned that right. But if there's anything we can take from that, it's nice to see that El Cacoy has finally, seemingly, found his Jackie answer. Because I know as a player, El Cacoy has definitely not enjoyed playing against or fighting Jackie in any way. And he's continues to kind of get just rolled over by the character in tournament, in Open Series, multiple times. So it's, if anything, it's just nice to see that he's worked on something to kind of be his go-to for when he inevitably has to fight the character again, which, especially in this game, you're definitely, if there's a character you have to be ready for in tournament, it's gonna be Jackie and Cetrion, and these characters that are just so strong that not only are they going to be, you know, are they successful right now, there's a ton of people playing them, which is also kind of partly why we see so much of them. But Mighty Unjust could be moving through, so our round 2 matches are shaping up to currently be Breaking versus Tweedy, and Mighty Unjust versus the winner of our next match.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, okay. So this right here, run us through this one. This is going to be one of the better matches of the day, in my humble opinion. Why is that?
It's going to be 2 fan favorites and 2 specialists. We did see as well, Teaser was able to 3-0 Javier off stream, so might be seeing Teaser later, depends on if he makes the top 4. But next matchup, it's King Gambler, who is said by many to be the best Nightwolf in the business, up against Biohazard, who, although he definitely has a Nightwolf, he uses it specifically for the Moonfall command grab variation, which, as far as I'm aware, King Gambler knows how to play that variation himself, but I don't think he believes in it as much as Bio does. I've seen him talk about it kind of negatively in the past, where he basically says, like, once people figure it out, I don't think it's that good and stuff like that. So maybe he doesn't believe in it, but he's going to pick Nightwolf here. What his custom Nightwolf is, I'm looking forward to. Bio, with his many characters, highly doubt he's going to give the Nightwolf mirror. If you're fighting Nightwolf, you're probably going to play... I mean, surely this is a matchup he'll probably even play Kano in. And Nightwolf. I mean, look, Bio... I don't know why I said Nightwolf. I wanted to say and Biohazard is a player that has actually done quite well for himself over the last week or so of competition, getting a top 8 in Community's Champion of the Realms. I believe he even won that tournament, and getting top 8, almost defeating Combat winner's side in pro competition. So Biohazard doing pretty well at the moment, Mustard.
No, for sure. And Biohazard has been one of those players that, especially in the online element of the game, right? Like, it definitely has become quite the menace in online tournaments. Even back to when things started to first go online, like, I mean, shortly after Final Combat last year, right? It's been a long old time since these online events were kind of like...
Don't say that already, because it's almost been a whole year since then.
I know. It's miserable to say out loud, but it is what it is, you know? And fortunately for us, the competitive itch has continued to be able to be scratched, and we've seen these
Baraka
continue to go on. But Baraka is going to be the character of choice. Now, I did want to talk a little bit about Bio's Baraka, because we do always see it as one of his, like, a more kind of traditional characters. But Gambler. Now, there's a few moves that I know he tends to go for. Are we going to see it now? I know. Okay. Oh, Rising Tomahawk and Tomahawk Swing. So this is interesting. So this variation doesn't get to guarantee the command grab before they break, but it does keep the Rhino charge. So when you're going for launcher plus command grab, because the command grab is the armor break, right? You go for the Spirit Tracks launcher, which truly guarantees the command grab, so you actually can't avoid it. But then you lose the Rhino charge, and I really feel like Gambler seems to heavily like having the Rhino charge. I think we see him really specialize in when to use it, so going without, I don't think we're likely to see.
But this variation that King Gambler's bringing to the table, by the way, right in the Tarkatan shin, that certainly hurt. And now, the payout, command grab ender, just for the knockdown. Lovely how you have Tomahawk Swing and then some kind of option like that. The sheer wake-up neutral jump for Bio. No answer. Not really going to challenge those minor plus frames, but I'll talk about it in a bit because we have the end of this round coming up. But I am thoroughly interested in this Gambler variation. Waits for the forward roll, gets the forward 2. But this Nightwolf variation where you've got Rising Tomahawk and the command grab, this is actually the variation of Nightwolf that all the Nightwolf real mains were saying, okay, this is going to be a really good one, because you kind of just get to play solid Nightwolf. You get the launch, you get the meatless combos in the corner, you get a better or another combo ender in command grab, you get tick throws. It's an efficient variation, to say the least, and it's no wonder King Gambler is playing it.
Well, if you were playing like traditional Nightwolf this entire time, I feel like this is almost the equivalent to like Baraka players that were like, they were Marauder players and they're running like Gutted and Blade Charge, because you're still kind of by and large playing the same character, you have a different form of utility, right? Whereas for Nightwolf here, you know, this is definitely one of the variations that if you were playing this variation pre-patch with the Rising Tomahawk, you just had the wolf buff, you know, the Spirit of Kiba that, I mean, most Nightwolf players just weren't even activating. So this is just adding a move to a lot of these players. Ooh, interesting trade. Oh, and a deep jump kick.
There's also some matchup tech that we're seeing King Gambler use on that 1-1-2. Right before the 2 comes out, the down 3 low profiles it.
Yeah, he's doing that on a fair few strings, actually.
Indeed. There's the command grab ender. You can amp this if you want, but he's probably not going to. Yeah, I guess that's one thing in this matchup. There's not really as much point to amplify the command grab unless you get the KB, because, and I say KB as in armor break, or sorry, no, reversal punish. Wait, never mind, actually, no, I'm completely drawing a blank here. It's the regular version that even has the KB attached.
But even then, like, the amplified version of the grab, you use it for the monstrous knockdown advantage. But it's knockdown advantage that you don't really need if you don't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Which is where, again, which is where the Moonfall comes into play, right? Because Moonfall is actually guaranteeing something quite strong with that advantage.
Oh, my lord.
Oh, tries.
Had the right idea, but the gravity wasn't going to play ball. The down 2 out of nowhere. Challenging the plus frames. Empty jump. Down 3. Baraka's blades looking a bit like turkey Twizzlers, but I feel like
I can never unsee it. Like, ever since you first said that
turkey Twizzler arms.
Never been able to look at them the same since, and I'm quite angry about it because you've ruined this skin for me entirely.
But let's talk about that. Right near the end, that down 2 coming out of nowhere, Biohazard. He still really likes to basically pick Bone Picker. He'll rename it and stuff, but it's Bone Picker. It's Blood Lunge and Spine Burst.
Yep.
Because it just still gives him, for specific matchups, Baraka exists to... The Baraka exists for key matchups. Like, he doesn't specialize in Baraka. It's like one of his characters. And I think in playing Baraka for those matchups, I think that Bone Picker was just such a big part of that process that even though he can take different moves, that's not why he played Baraka in the first place. So in that respect, it's, you know, we're going into this next matchup, the Rising Tomahawk and the Tomahawk Swing. This is one of the things that you pretty much lose by not having kind of setup tools and command grab is he has a very plus amplified command grab, but as you said, he doesn't really have anything to use those plus frames for. What's he going to do? Just dash up and hit you? He gets that normally.
Well, the big thing I'm looking for here, though, from Bio is he took that game, even without really doing what I would consider to be the true stuff of this variation, right? That corner game. Bio normally one of the players that really does not shy away from getting you cornered and just annihilating with Spine Burst and its various options. And we didn't really get the chance to see him do that at all, but he's still making it work. You know, Spine Burst gives you scary neutral, good anti-air potential, nice safety. Ooh, good fuzzy.
More of that forward 2 action. He wants to try and shut it down. Looks in for the 1. Lovely up 3, but Bio too far away to capitalize. And there's the 1-1. The grab. This won't kill. It will come close. Ooh.
Where do you go from here? Oh, the chase down!
Oh my god, that was no trip guard.
Yeah, that actually kind of looked like a really late anti-air. It didn't actually look like Gambler's feet had quite reached the ground yet. I do wonder if that was like a really late anti-air.
I kind of think what happened there was that King Gambler landed, but then jumped forward and got hit by the fatal blow on the second small jump. That was that anti-air looked so late.
I wasn't sure exactly how.
The second jump. But now Bio pushing forward, able to bring that one back. That was still very much an impressive comeback to make. And that forward 2 Spine Burst game, the tick throw, so savage off of a jump in. And it does make the 1-1 more dangerous. Speaking of 1-1, Nightwolf having 3 of them.
Oh, counter hit, he's dead.
Boom, 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 stay.
Oh, no. Actually, no, he's still alive. I thought for sure that would be death, but Gambler now has quite the comeback to make. Right? He has a lot of bar, but no, not going to work. That was a punish. Now, I want to say as well, though, like this is definitely an example of one of those variations that just because customs are a thing doesn't mean you need to disregard everything that was pre-made beforehand. And Bone Picker is such a good example of that. Because think about it. If you want to play Baraka and you want to build your main game plan around forward 2, because that's a good string, right? Forward 2, it's a 8-frame high, goes into safe on block 2 hits, plus on block 3rd hit. Yes, there's a gap in there, but Bone Picker gives you Spine Burst.
Is it +1 or +2, the 3rd hit? I can't remember.
+1, I think I'm pretty sure it's +1.
Yeah, it's barely plus, but it's enough to be annoying.
It's not plus enough to guarantee anything, but if you're sticking out another 8-frame move behind it from a range, it's something, right? Like it's just something you have to watch for. Because it exists. Spine Burst, safe on block special. Yes, it's a high, but if you think that, you know, if they think you're going to do that and they duck, they get clipped by the last hit of the string. 4-2-1, it is also a tick throw into command grab. So it just gives you so much more utility off of an already really good string. And that is what we're seeing from Bio. Like, Bio is doing almost nothing but forward 2 and building his entire offense around the special options from it, whether it's finishing the string or whether it's Spine Burst, whether it's command grab, whether you do nothing and you just wait and see what they do. And you really only get to do that exact game plan.
He had a couple of opportunities to whatever's going on, I feels like, and I say this really respectfully because I'm a huge fan of King Gambler, I kind of feel like he's just having a really bad day because there's been a couple of opportunities in this game where whiff punishes were right out there in the open with like forward 1 or whatever, and he's not even able to press a button here, Mustard. Nothing in this set has gone right.
He is thoroughly being just kept at arm's length. That is all that is happening right here. Bio's footsies are just superior.
Oh,
look at that.
Lord. This has been a difficult series for King Gambler. The 2-2, I can only assume, was maybe trying to go for some kind of tick or something. Maybe push himself out of the corner. We finally see the forward 2 come out to play. A button that King Gambler has barely used.
Oh, trip guard again. 200 damage. Come on, grab. Everything's working out for Biohazard. Oh, there it is again. Yeah, meaty. Nothing he can do about it. Biohazard with a commanding and surprising, I will say, 3-0. Definitely expected this to be a lot more competitive, but I mean, Biohazard, he did say he is on a recent momentum streak in competitive MK11, so not too unexpected that he's going to continue that through to today's Open Series.
Yeah, I mean, Biohazard, he'd finished recently with, I believe it was the recent champion of the realm, you know, shouts to Caboose and Destroyer. He was able to win that tournament. I think it came from the loser side as well, so that was one hell of a run from him against some of the very best, you know. And then in the pro competition, a winner's side top 8 finish. So that was a really good tournament. He was narrowly close to beating Kombat in that tournament. It was match point up. You know, there was an unfortunate sequence of events. I don't need to remind him. Not at all. But my point is that he's been doing extremely well recently. However, that is still more one-sided than I was expecting. I really thought that it was going to be a bit closer. But as I kind of led on that third game, I really just think that this was not... I don't want to say it's not his day, because Gambler can definitely make top 4.
I mean, he's just a loser's bracket, that's it. He has all the chance in the world to bring it back.
That was a bit of a disastrous set for him, where he just wasn't able to do anything. And Bio just played so insanely well. And Gambler, you know, there were whiff punishes on the table that he didn't take, and a lot of jumping, which seems a bit uncomfortable, perhaps. Very little grab attempts. He used forward 2 once in 3 games. It just looked a little bit like he was almost rusty or something. I've got to say,
look at these score lines. 3-1, 3-0, 3-1, 3-0, 3-0 off stream. You know, teaser taking it over Javier. Like, we're having quite the one-sided day, but to kind of finish your point with my opinion, I actually feel like that is definitely just, to a degree, and I think anyone that's ever played him will know exactly what I mean. That's the Biohazard effect. Like, Biohazard is a player that we all know is incredible at the game, but he plays in a unique way that is unique to him. He is the only person that uses these characters the way he does, the specific way, that you cannot get ready for it unless you've played him a considerable amount. And I'm not going to assume to how much Gambler and Bio have actually played each other, but especially in tournament, you can only get used to playing against Bio by playing Bio. And there's the only way you can be ready for the unique form of craziness he brings to the table.
I'd go as far to say that Bio is probably the most unique player in our entire scene worldwide when you talk about just like playstyle. You know what I mean?
I would agree.
How he plays, the characters he uses, all of it combined is like, there's no one else in the world like him. And that's really stressful if you're playing him in tournament. However, on that note, I'd like to remind everyone that if you want to compete in tournament and join these players and play on this stream or whatever the case may be, get involved. Compete.playstation.com. It's the one-stop shop for not only Open Series, but the pro competition as well. Everything is funneled through the absolute system that is PS4 tournaments. You know, they've been very supportive to the Mortal Kombat scene, and they continue to be, of which the community appreciates. And it's how these really fun broadcasts happen in the first place, and have done for many months. We're going to go for a quick break, set up our next round of winners. But when we return, the pro competition, this is Open Series, will be back in a few minutes' time. So close.
gimmicks, just combat.
PlayStation.
This is the Mortal Kombat character breakdown for Rambo. Another in an ever-growing line of NetherRealm Studios guest characters, MK11's action hero theme continues with Rambo, who brings with him some interesting gameplay elements to really shake things up as part of Kombat Pack 2. Rambo is a character all about the buttons. He has more mid attacks than almost anyone in the game, and they all play to his toolset in different ways. Whether it's for mix-ups, safety, or hit confirms, you will find Rambo more than likely has a button for the job. Forward 122 is a meterless launcher, and your main base go-to mid-punish, or used after stunning crushing blows. Back 1 leads to an overhead string that grants a mix-up when paired with Rambo's low slide. Back 3-3 is your main safe mid that you confirm into specials. These are merely a few examples, but watch for flawless block gaps as Rambo has many that will leave you open to punishment. Rambo also has a new KB requirement in his forward throw. If he goes 10 seconds without being knocked down or jumping, his forward throw will stun, allowing for massive damage. Rambo's base moves cover a few bases. His bow stance fires up to 3 arrows for heavy damage and can be cancelled in between shots. Slide covers decent distance and has a strong crushing blow attached, allowing for deceiving damage. Whip Trap is a fast, long-range special that knocks the opponent down and does well in projectile wars. As Rambo crouches down, he will go under most high projectiles. Snare Trap is a stun, pulling the opponent up and leaving them open to attack. They cannot break this until you knock them out of the trap, allowing Rambo simple and effective armor break threats with his forward 4. Leopard Crawl is a prone stance with multiple options. You can check your opponent with a low strike, command grab, cancel, the choice is yours. The grab will also crushing blow if you crawl far enough. Claymore is an explosive trap that launches the opponent as an unblockable if they get too close to it, allowing for strong setups. This will also hurt Rambo, however, so make sure you aren't too close to it when it explodes. It can also be amplified to be made completely invisible. M60 pulls up twin M60s as a high projectile, doing strong damage. Fubar is a high command grab, with a heavy damage crushing blow attached and good at keeping opponents uncomfortable on defense. Shoulder roll replaces slide, but gives you the ability to roll through your opponent while standing. Should the attack from the roll counter hit, it will crushing blow for a stun. This attack can be amplified as a safe overhead. Rambo has been taught to live off the land, and that is apparent with this next move, MRE. Rambo catches a bug and digs in, restoring health and eventually crushing blow for a big heal. He will get sick if you eat too much though. Mace Trap replaces Whip Trap and becomes a much heavier screen control tool, keeping opponents at bay. Commando grants Rambo extensions to many strings, allowing command grabs and restands. Overall, Rambo brings a new style of gameplay to the table. Whether it's screen control, combos, and setups, or even command grabs, you'll likely be able to find the style of Rambo that suits you the best.
PlayStation.
This is the Mortal Kombat character breakdown for Mileena. One of the most fan-requested returning characters and in true familiar form. Mileena returns to the MK roster in the MK11 Ultimate Edition as part of Kombat Pack 2. Mileena is absolutely true to her usual self. Her base moves of side toss, bull roll, and telekick all return, only this time in various ways due to the existence of custom moves. Side toss is a powerful projectile that hits multiple times and can be used for screen control and safety. This can also be changed to become low side, which is slower but covers a lower angle, as well as being able to throw this whilst in the air. The roll is Mileena's main launching option via Amplify. You can combo it from just about anything, from standing buttons to general conversions, or even used raw as a whiff punish or anti-air. This will be your main source of damage. This can also be changed via the Rolling Thunder equip to gain a new startup animation and even go full screen. Stabby Scotch and Playtime are your grappling options, with Stabby Scotch being a true command grab which functions as a solid combo ender and crushing blow tool, and Playtime extending multiple strings for more hits and mix-up potential. Melina is rather versatile in MK11. She has decent buttons and powerful crushing blows that can obtain damage very quickly, but they do require proper management as not to waste them, allowing you to play a more neutral and patient-focused game. Or you can gravitate toward her universal overhead and low options, combined with your command grabs to play a highly mix-up focused strategy. One thing is for sure though, and that this is definitely Melina. All of the moves are there and she fits MK11 well. We're sure that Melina fans will feel right at home with her once again.
PlayStation.
Welcome back, everyone, to the PS4 Tournament's MK11 Open Series Invitational. We are well on our way through our Week 3 of North America here this month, and we're going into our next round of winners now with some really good matches. It's going to be Breaking versus Tweedy, and then after that, what has been many grand finals here in the Open Series, Mighty Unjust and Biohazard, so it should be a really good time.
Yeah, I think, especially considering Breaking and Tweedy, that is a match that, to be honest, I'm really excited to watch just by itself, because Tweedy is a player that we've known for a long time in the competitive NetherRealm community, especially online and online tournaments, and even down to things like Final Kombat last year. Tweedy was one of the players in that after qualifying for the year and really kind of earning that spot and doing well for himself. But we haven't really seen him in the Open Series, and if I'm being honest, I'm actually quite surprised that it took Tweedy so long to start entering, because to me this seemed like the exact kind of thing he would enter. Like it pays out money every single week. He's definitely a player that is like putting time into the game anyway, so even though it's a bit later than I would have imagined, I'm happy to see Tweedy now consistently entering these and doing well, because I'm not at all surprised that he's making the top 8, because we know he's definitely a good enough player to do so, and a lot of the time in quite dominant fashion. Now the question is, will that roll through to this match as well, as this is winner's side round 2, so we're definitely getting through this bracket now. But against Breaking, Breaking is definitely one of the Open Series standards, but I'll be honest, I think he's going to have his work cut out for him. I think Tweedy is a player that you can really rarely count out. I think he plays Geras in a very stable and reliable way. I think a lot of kind of Open Series Geras up until now, we've seen a lot of strong Gerases, but to be honest, mainly Geras players focused around the Sand clone and the general game plan that allows for, whereas Tweedy is one of those, what was so common last year, but to be honest, not really common at all anymore, is the bed of spikes approach of Geras, right? Where it's about specific buttons, fishing for those big launches, getting a ton of damage. And that is a form of Geras that is, very standard, but we don't really see it as much anymore, whereas Tweedy is still very much doing that as a priority.
So Breaking sticking true with this Liu Kang. So one would almost think here that he's been playing so much Sub-Zero and not much Liu Kang in Open Series since Ultimate, that maybe now he's trying to kind of refine that Liu Kang again. This was his original main character here in the Open Series, so seeing him rock this character now is kind of a bit nostalgic almost, going in with that original main, but same variation. You've got that parry, the buff, and the low fireball. A variation that Tweedy would have fought plenty of times, no doubt. And I do think he's going into this one as my personal favorite to win. How much? I think that remains to be seen, but I think Tweedy's got a good chance to win this quite comfortably.
But even there, recognizing he wasn't going to get that punish, stopping the string beforehand as to not overcommit. Now Breaking. Big part of Breaking, though, is that confidence. If he can still play his normal game and not be too deterred, Open Lot tries to punish, but not an option. And speaking of which, there's that forward 3. Another bar spent. Tweedy clearly not against coming off that bar heavy if it means getting a tremendous amount of damage to keep that lead going. You have to remember as well, Geras, his throw game, a big part of Geras if you've got bed of spikes. And Geras' throws, both forward and back, they take quite a long time. So if you're waiting for that bar to regenerate, you're going to get a decent chunk of your offensive bar back by the time they're finished.
There's the
there
confirm.
it is. Yep.
No break available. That down 2 is going to easily win the round. Good thing for breaking. Able to acknowledge that and just conceding the damage. Going into the next round with the defensive bar. Oh, those high jump kicks. You always know they're having the sand trap input on the end of it. But this is the next layer of Tweedy, right? He hits you with the grab and he always seems to have the right option afterwards. Oh dear. But again, no confirm. That's very rare. Tweedy, when he does the splash into single hit, normally so good at hitting that into better spikes.
But where do we go from here? Tweedy, not afraid to really back this up. No reason to be hasty. Lively, there's a full screen anti-air. Good lord.
14% into situation. I mean, there are definitely worse single hit full screen anti-airs. There's the buff. Looking for a big payout there as Tweedy probably thought you were going to try and grab or something similar. Interruption. Mix plus frames. Here comes the down 1. Another body splash, but the 1-2 to get him out of dodge. Safety. Breaking. Oh, he still can't pick it up.
I mean, he's getting a few hits, but nothing at an angle that he can actually turn it into damage. Big jump in, and that's going to be death for sure. Fatal blow just to make certain. Yep, nothing you can do. Breaking. Tries to break away on the off chance that Tweedy did it wrong, but not a chance that's going to happen as Tweedy takes that first game. And again, you know, you have to remember that real strong utility of just being able to go button, launcher, fatal blow, unavoidable damage. You know, Gyros, one of the few characters in the game that can do that fundamentally, you know, universally, I should say, with the stun, but Bed of Spikes, it does have that better scaling. And we are going to see Tweedy take that first game. And, I mean, there really isn't much to say about Tweedy's general game plan that we haven't said countless times over the first year of Final Kombat to now, you know? Like, I feel like he knows when to turn the dial up on things like sometimes he needs to flawless block a lot, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he needs to flawless block anti-air, maybe sometimes he doesn't. I think a big part of it is like opponents as to like how they're playing, what they're playing. Because Tweedy is also the kind of player that like he grinds sets like all the time. Like he's always playing long matches against other competitive players that he is really good at kind of figuring out specifics about you on the fly. And that tends to come with players that play like extended matches for a long time. They're really good at kind of picking out the you in your game plan, and that's quite dangerous to play against, especially if he's using someone like Gyros, who I think has a lot of tools to kind of deal with that. We're seeing him move through.
It's why to be honest, it's why when I describe Tweedy and his Gyros and why it's so dangerous, is that it is the best kind of, you know, no fuss, where everything he does is on face value really, really simple. Because almost everything Tweedy does is just put into the player versus player aspect of things, and it's his familiarity with you that makes it so dangerous. Because you just take his basic game plan of Gyros and add that to it, you have a really dangerous combination.
We've been watching this round for like less than half of it, and he's gone for the 1-1 low for the first time in the entire tournament. The fact that it was blocked, we saw breaking, like, you know, it wasn't like he just guessed, like he definitely is fuzzying. That's information, and that's the kind of info that Tweedy is going to be able to use in the rest of this. No. There it is, immediately after. Now the KB, enough to get it. Turned into a missed punish, turned into KB instead for the kill anyway.
Oh no, neck chop. Never forget this sand trap. It does 14% and gives him a guaranteed situation. It has always been incredibly high reward. There's so much infinite warden in what Tweedy does with this Gyros. He may as well just be playing infinite warden, honestly. Here we go.
Again, another 2-bar cash out. Yeah, not afraid to do it.
If Tweedy has the 2 bars, he will spend it on the 40%. That, while it was an interesting choice and did work out, I do think that screams a little bit of desperation from breaking, to be honest with you, because on defense he has just been getting completely tagged. And now the staggers interrupted immediately. Here comes the down back 2.
Ball 4-2-1 into the fist, though. I think he knows breaking is looking for that flawless block. Like, you can see what breaking is trying to do. He just hasn't been able to find it yet. Okay, there's a hit, though. Fatal blow. That'll be the round.
But what happens from this point? Because breaking, he's had no opportunities to build escape failed. He's had no opportunities to hit bicycle kick. And he's just lost his fatal blow. I think this is going to be a pretty difficult round potentially to win here, because Tweedy, he's going to have that damage on deck no matter what. Breaking some of his vital options to maybe come into this match either are gone or haven't been set up. Because he just doesn't have the chance. That's a lovely catch.
That's so cool. I'll never get tired of watching that.
Classic MK1 combos, man.
Does about the same damage, only maybe didn't have the cinematic back then.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
Okay, breaking, though. This round completely going his way. Tweedy, however, he has the comeback to make. Can he do it? There's no fatal blow. This is still round 3 Liu Kang. There are plenty more in the tank. However, as the same for Geras, the throw loop so dangerous. Ooh, late jump back fireball. And more damage.
This was looking all Tweedy for the longest time, but in this final round, breaking.
Oh, to the face.
Sniped. Maybe it's because Geras was so tall, who knows?
Regardless, though, breaking getting the game on the board, that's a huge result for him. Because that was a very good breaking game as well, you know what I mean? Like, that was definitely what breaking has always been doing, right? Whether it comes to, like, late air fireball into fly kick, that's something that's, like, kind of half a confirm and half a commitment. It's kind of really hard to kind of specifically describe it. But the fact that he's still doing that means that he's not being deterred. And I've got to say, that's one element to Breaking's play that I've been really impressed by. And one of the biggest things of him when it comes to like development as a player. I feel like Breaking could have a tendency to, when he was playing against other people that he was kind of familiar with an open series, we would see the traditional Breaking. But the second he'd fight someone that was like new there for the week, who was like a really strong player from like outside of open series, he could have a tendency to kind of crumble a little bit. And so, you know, that's definitely not uncommon. You know, that some players will get that they'll play their normal game, and the second they fight someone they know is like a recognized or a top level player, they might kind of, maybe the nerves will get to them and they'll kind of forget what makes their own gameplay tick. But it looks like Breaking doesn't have that problem, at least anymore. I know he definitely used to have elements of that, I would say, but definitely not nowadays. And that's a big way to like develop as a player, is to stick to your guns no matter what.
As we go into this next round, there's that immediate 1-2-3. Bit of a knockdown, meat grab. Hang on a minute, Breaking. He's starting to fight back here. Oh, the range of the 1-1. You never expect that to have as much reach as it actually does when it comes to Geras' standing buttons. And here's the slammer. Another situation. Lay it upon.
Power bomb.
Tweedy. I tell you, it always feels like he's doing the right button. But then that time, the wake up one will catch him slipping.
Oh, and again, that was a confirmed. 100%. Oh, but a big duck. Tweedy really making those call-outs. Oh, empty jump standing one. That was the next level stuff.
Tragic thing about that, Mustard, was that Breaking was 1% away from having fatal blow. And if he had 1% less health, that would have been a fatal blow into round win.
Round 2, fight.
That's unfortunate.
Hindsight, wonderful.
Yes, it is. If only he had 1% less.
So though, Tweedy, this is quite a competitive game. I'll be honest, I definitely thought we could see Tweedy kind of get a sweep here. But Breaking, you know, forever proving me wrong. I feel like I tend to underestimate Breaking, even though we have so much reasons to not do so.
He's doing just fine in Liga Latina as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's the fact that Tweedy, you know, is a final combat placer for sure.
Oh, free. I actually like against his reversal flawless blocks against Liu Kang. He does up 3 instead of up 2 to make sure he doesn't get stuffed by the 1-2.
There's parry number 1. He's going to need more of that. Escape failed, though. Hang on. Escape failed and fatal blow. Ah, but the wake up down 1.
Yeah, Tweedy. Wake up down 1 says you have all this momentum, all these tools for my destruction. My down 1's more devastating than all of them, mate. But yeah, like I was saying, there seems to be some, I do think might be specific matchup tech here, where Liu Kang, he gets his turn, he likes to do 1-2, right, which is super fast, crushes a lot of up 2s, even Geras's, because it's not as fast as it was. It's still quick, but it's not as obnoxiously quick as it used to be. So when he tries to counterpoke with the flawless block, he did up 3, not up 2. Because if he did up 2, Liu Kang's 1-2 would probably chew it up, and you lose a bar, which is something you don't see a lot of players do. Kind of deciding what character they're against, and it dictates whether they do up 2 or up 3. You don't quite see that from a lot of people.
Oh, we're seeing it here. As we go into what could potentially be the last match here, if Tweedy can seal this one out. I think it's been a day of 3 0s and 3 1s. Seeing a game 5 would be quite refreshing, but whether we see it now, I don't know. Regardless, Tweedy Really going to this Gears. I feel like a big part of Tweedy's kind of recent success, though, is I feel like he definitely wasn't afraid of dedicating to Melina for quite a while, but definitely has reached the point that he's like, okay, right, you know, no more games. Time to go back to the day one main. And with that does come a kind of familiarity that I think you're just not going to get from a character that's like barely over a month old. I do hope we eventually see Tweedy play some more Melina. Eventually, whenever that may be. Every single time Tweedy has gone for that forward one, like KB near the wall ender, it's been broken every time. Can't really be too surprised considering just how much damage that does add. Nice trip guard.
Oh, Tweedy sticking out that knee. Plus frames again. No, never mind. He just getting caught. And the grab to come through, the classic Geras button or grab. Ooh, that was meant to be a flying kick.
That had to be a flying kick. There's no way that wasn't. Has to watch out for that sand trap, though. Yeah, there it is. Oh! Wow. Okay, breaking found it. Just a raw parry. That was a read and a half. That should be enough, right?
I think so. Ooh. Oh my good god.
That's such a breaking parry as well.
Oh yeah, but hey, you ever get one parry into basically launch fatal blow, 40% damage, and this time Tweedy doesn't press on the whiffed flying kick. It's like, no, I've seen that one before.
Wait, Liu Kang's fly kick, I don't want to say to a certainty, but I'm fairly sure that out of all of like the charging specials, like, you know, glow kicks and Kano balls and rhino charges, anything that just like moves you forward for a single hit really fast, I feel like Liu Kang's dragon kick like recovers faster than anyone else. On whiff anyway.
Oh, good
speaking
Lord.
of whiff, there goes the grab.
One. Yes, indeed. And now more.
My goodness.
How many cinematics is Breaking gonna get? Gotta stay sneaky here. Good trade for Breaking. You often don't see Geras get hit by a projectile here, but that will be the setup for what could be round N. The anti-air.
Oh, hang on. Does he have bicycle kick?
No,
not quite.
Tweedy has to be so careful. He has to show respect to that fireball, man. Doesn't have a lot of life to challenge. Look
With
at
a
that
preemptive
knee.
forward three, yeah, he knew. He could feel that Breaking was going to go in.
Final round.
Now it's going to be a match point for Tweedy, but Breaking. He's used a lot of resources in that round, though.
Trying to challenge it again. He is trying to challenge. These back-to-back down ones. The respect on the overhead. Breaking does not want to get crushing blow backbreaker for another time.
Oh! There's a plus frames again. Every single time Tweedy's got that advantage, it's been challenged. There's a big opening. We can see a breakaway. Oh, he tried to bait it. He tries to go for it.
I tell you what was really good about Tweedy now is that he's doing 1-1 into jump. He's conditioned Breaking so hard to wait for that follow-up that now he's getting a jump in body splash, which might open up an interesting situation the next time he does 1-1. I'm curious to see how Breaking answers
especially
back.
when you're this low in health. Like Breaking, he's got less than half health by a mile because that KB, I didn't even realize he'd whiffed enough. Oh, interesting miss. Reversal grab though, Tweedy.
I guess for game
strike
Breaking wake up.
And a
he's dead.
throw. There it is. Yep. Tweedy going to be sealing it down at 3-1. Winners final secured over Breaking. But well fought from Breaking, I must say. That was a well-played set to him, but not well enough in the end compared to Tweedy, who is able to get that win, moves through the winners finals, where he'll take on the winner of our next match, which is going to be Mighty Unjust versus Biohazard, which is a match we've seen so many different times, and we'll see it again today.
So many times. It has been grand finals so many times here.
It's been just about everything. It's been grand finals a bunch. It's been winners finals even more. It's been round one match every now and then. Like at any point that it could be played, I think in open series, it's been played. But we'll get to that in a second as we watch this highlight reel of what we just saw between Tweedy and Breaking. Now, I will say, not to underestimate Breaking, because I know he definitely deserves more credit than it sounds like I might give him. I definitely expected that to just be a potentially quite a swift 3-0, because we know Tweedy, one of the best players in the world, you know, final Kombat finalist, speaks for itself, does very well in online tournaments, you know, there's very much a comfort zone for him. So I was kind of half, especially after looking at how swiftly he took out Teaser earlier on. I thought that until he fought someone like Unjust, it might be like that the whole way. So the fact that breaking did make him fight for it, yes, it was 3-1, but it was a close 3-1. You know, a bunch of these rounds did go there. That right there, that could easily have put us into a game 5 if Tweedy wasn't quite ready at the moment. But it just goes to show the composure, the clutch factor that Tweedy has been able to show today, and will probably continue to show as we move through to the rest of his matches later on. But GG's and well played, of course.
Now, when it comes to our next matchup here in winners, we were able to see King Gambler 3-2 versus El Cacoy. That was a close one, and he'll be fighting off against Breaking off stream. Might be seeing him a little bit later in the top 4, but let's talk about this next matchup. Mighty Unjust and Bio. We don't really need to talk about... we don't really need to, I think, touch on their history too much now, because they've played a bunch. Mighty Unjust tends to have the upper hand. Bio has beaten before, but Mighty Unjust has a higher success rate. It's why he's the most successful Open Series player. But there's been a recent development, I think, because ultimately the kind of common talking point for a while used to be that Mighty Unjust would just pick Sub-Zero, and Bio, no matter how hard he tried,
he clearly had a problem, right? Sub-Zero was a Achilles heel for him.
Found an answer, though, the last couple of weeks. Bio, the people barely back him. But there has been a recent development where the Sub-Zero problem, at least for now, there is a somewhat answer. A character Bio likes to play. Moonfall Nightwolf is his pick against Sub-Zero because he has the presence on the screen, he has options up close, the reflect on the ice ball is huge for him, and the last time he played against Mighty Unjust Sub-Zero with Moonfall Nightwolf, he beat it. But then Mighty Unjust picks Etrion, which is now, it's a new can of worms, isn't it? Because you've now found an answer for a problem character, and now he's picked a character that does really well against that. You know, so it's kind of like it's more development, isn't it? It's more character development with these two players.
Well, it really is a continuation of what we have been talking about.
Kano.
It's a continuation of what we've talked about many times. When you fight against someone like Unjust, who plays as many characters as he does competitively, and has had success with a lot of them in the Open Series. Like, he's won with how many characters? I can't even remember. Over 20 characters he's used. You are never just playing the character he's playing right now. You always have to have one eye on what he could change to when you win. And that is just the next level in that kind of matchup. You'll take out one character that he's been beating you with, and then you start figuring it out. Cool, now he's just going to maybe pick something else. Now, okay, Bio, right here though, Bio, right. No, this already is a very different style of Kano than we're used to seeing from him. He has the Veggie Mighty, which does, when activated, give the ball one hit of armor on it against projectiles. I didn't see what else he'd equipped, but
I think he has the Bio Ball. He has manhandled. He's got the extra strings. Oh wait, no, I completely misjudged it. Never mind. Oh my good lord, Bio, he's mixing.
Oh, is this Ripper plus Veggie Mighty instead of anything else? This could be extended strings, command grab, and Veggie Mighty. That sounds quite dangerous.
But now, wait a minute. Bio, he's got to be very careful here. There's the down one. And these are two players that just did very, very well in the NA East Pro competition, if I'm not mistaken. Mighty Unjust getting an impressive third place finish. And then Biohazard, who was so close to winners finals. You know, last round against Kombat. These are two players that have both been doing very, very well.
There it is again, get that guaranteed buff. Oh, punish, but again, Citron, not a character that's going to punish you that hard.
Oh yeah, that's just risk reward for Bio. If you punish me, but I get an air cannonball, who cares? Jump in, and overhead this time. Bio always mixing it, but there's the backdash and wake up. Instant jump. There it is again.
Not activating the counter hit. Yeah, that's probably be enough. How's the bar? Pick up, kill. Even Cetrion, yeah. Oh, hang on, wait, no, he is alive, but not going to matter. The barrier does just enough.
Now Bio has this opportunity. The big thing about this round end is that it's giving Bio full resources. He's now got everything. Now Vegemite.
I do wonder how well you can... Oh, wow, no. Recovered in time. Actually got the cancel. That was so clutch. Yeah, that was so smart.
Oh, no button press from Bio. Maybe trying to empty jump there. Getting immediately caught out. Instant jump. Ah, I love that as well. Vegemite to blow up you trying to Floor's block. And he gets that out. Plus frames. Oh, come on, grab. Hang on.
He seems to amp that grab most of the time as well now. I think Bio really just trying to take whatever damage he can. Armors through what would have crushing blowed. That was so smart.
No counter hit. He was looking for it. Bio, he's going to go in.
That's not going to kill, but it will tick down to Magic Pixel.
The punish!
Oh! That's going to punish. And just enough damage. Mighty Unjust. Staying alive by the skin of his teeth. That damage over time, crushing blow, ticks down to Magic Pixel. Bio tries to chip out through last breath, but one hit, not enough. Literally one hit too short. Unfortunate for Biohazard, but very fortunate for Mighty Unjust.
The thing is, as someone who, I've watched so many tournament games with Bio, where this is unfortunately a bit of a common occurrence. He loses to that one hit less of chip and being punished for it. It's like one of the most common ways he loses matches. Like when the chips are down, it's really unfortunate.
I definitely feel like it's definitely part player fault. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But Kano, you know, contrary to popular belief, not amazing at plowing through last breath. Outside of acid, you know, acid is an incredible move at getting through last breath. If the fire's on the floor, it may as well be Aaron's acid, right? Like it's going to plow through, it's going to kill you. But Kano Ball amp on paper is a really good way of plowing through it, right? Because Kano Ball at point blank is 2 hits on block, amplify early as possible, gapless a 3rd hit. So universally, you'll have, and then if you do down 1 that, it's like 4 hits to go through, right? But at anywhere but point blank, it's kind of hard for him to find those hits to get through it, at least in a safe way. Which is why I think sometimes we'll see that miscalculation come through. Because it can kind of be hard to find out whether you can or cannot do it as Kano. However, there it is, the back 3.
Restand. And now overhead again.
This is smooth.
Bio. Oh, the wake up button press, catching him off guard. So much avoided chip there thanks to a good little flawless block. Anti-air again, but the second hit doesn't actually hit. Oh my lord. Plus frames now. And here's the mix. Always that cheeky low. Bio mixes his timings up so much, it's so hard to challenge. And now, that is going to be a chunky forward 1. All right. Bio, I mean, it is this relentless dedication to the mix-up what makes him so scary with Kano.
If you give Bio a character the command grab and mix up options, it's going to make it work. Now, one thing that we have to say about Vegemite, though, it's a way past projectiles, but it's not a way to completely... Ooh, what a pickup. That was actually quite clean.
Pickup.
It's not a way of completely avoiding them, though, considering you do still take the damage. Speaking of which, Mighty Unjust, a huge call-out.
Speaking of which, meaty mid into natural barrier instead of wins. That is always just a call-out. Flawless blocks these days. Push back. There's that down 1. Lets the buff rock. Oh my god. Biohazard.
Now, here's the thing about this, though. Now, this is an element to this variation that we haven't talked about, but I can see it being huge. Is Vegemite has... It's one of those moves that doesn't seem like it's got a lot going for it on paper until you really look for it. Now, it does give you a hit of armor, right? And it does make the Kano Ball do a bit more damage. However, you can special cancel the activation of it. So if you turn on Vegemite, there is a short window that lets you specifically special cancel into Kano Ball, which is what allows Kano to get so much like traditional damage, because you can go for like a couple of hits into like for example, Kano's 1-1 is a bit of an auto shimmy. It's kind of similar to that. And if you go 1-1 Vegemite, it gives you time to hit confirm, letting you effectively use something that no other variation can do. However, the window to cancel into it is really late. So you see the window, you expect the ball to come, so you block, but Bio's not doing the ball, he's doing command grab. So like the Vegemite is making you want to block the Kano Ball, and now he's grabbing you instead. This is a really interesting variation, and I love the way Bio is putting it to use.
Ooh. Using that, isn't that button plus on block with Kano? I can't remember.
Kano standing for is +5 on block. which is quite a lot of advantage to have for a command grab character.
Doesn't quite get the combo. Vegemite, it's literally ask and you shall receive. You wait for the buff, you wait for the special cancel, and then he just command grabs. There's so much respect enforced in this matchup. So there's the 1-2. Instant jump Kano ball. This time, though, looking for the jump in. The raw jump, but the jump in game becomes so much scarier because he'll just jump in Kano ball. So you wait for that, and he just hits you with the jump in.
Well, especially if he has the buff on as well, because the ball will actually do more damage. So it becomes a better risk reward for him. Because we're not talking like a tiny increase. Like, it's quite a considerable amount of damage added to the ball. At least a couple of %. Which, considering he can do it all the time... Oh! I guess the armor wasn't active.
Invisible bicycle. Oh, Lord. Oh, he's getting mixed. The mixer is getting mixed himself. The irony. Sub-Zero. The instant wake-up jump. Oh, the disrespect from Mighty Unjust going to get clipped in the break. Good block on the overhead, but there's a low again. The second he gets put close range.
That's something in this matchup that's low-key really important, is we saw that down 1. It actually punished the overhead. Kano's overhead is -7. So a 6-frame down 1 will actually punish it. And that down 1 on hit can be turned into a jailed standing 2. So it's quite cool how, with 6-frame characters, Kano's overhead actually isn't unsafe. Actually isn't safe on paper. It's just not a huge payout, but it's something.
Oh, Bio, he is getting mixed so hard right now.
Yeah, this is a premium blender.
But this might open up an interesting question a little bit later. Bio, the neutral jumps coming through again. Mighty Unjust. Another low, this time plus frames. No, oh yeah, Sub-Zero does whiff against him, doesn't it?
Unfortunate. That's gonna work out.
Oh my god.
Ooh. But I'm fairly sure Sub-Zero is one of the characters that it doesn't whiff against, but the first hit, oh, that's gonna do it. Oh no, and just finds the hit. And that is going to be the round taken away. Well, no, I'm fairly sure Sub-Zero is a character that doesn't, that still has to block the entire string, but you have to remember, the forward 1-2, the second hit is still a high, so if the first hit doesn't connect, you will always be able to avoid it. It's only if the first hit connects that you're jailed into dealing with the second, but if the first hit whiffs, then everyone will be able to duck spit.
So, now continues the
story of these
two. Yeah, I mean, I was struggling to find a word for it for some reason, but thank you for jumping in.
I got you, bro. Don't worry.
But my point is that, so, all right, now he's against Kano. He's not against Kano, he's against Sub-Zero. There probably is going to be a different character for this matchup, surely. Or is he Kano all the way? No, it's the same. I mean, it wasn't a wash.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a complete
close
sweep. And as far as I know, he hasn't tried this variation against Unjust before. So
yeah,
this could be a continuation of looking for options.
But this does mean as well, just because his answer for Sub-Zero is Nightwolf, I don't necessarily think, because of other characters, I don't think Nightwolf is his pick for Unjust Sub-Zero, because he will then just have to fight Cetrion in a matchup that's really tough for that variation on Nightwolf. So I think the Kano gives him a better chance against both characters. You know, almost like evenly split. Back-to-back down 1. Oh, he lets it rock. I mean, he does let it go. He wants you to try and press, and he pulls it out. But the defense from Mighty Unjust, he just sits and respects it anyway. Oh, my goodness. Oh, God, Bio, it's all going wrong.
What can you do with this, though? This is quite a lead to have for Unjust. This is 2-1 to Unjust, you have to remember. This could potentially be the last game for Bio here in the set anyway.
Getting mixed to hell and back, though. As Mighty Unjust brings himself onto a match point. Every single button press worked there. And now Bio looking to come in, air to air. The down 1 doesn't quite work out. Again, puts himself minus with the overhead, and it will be Unjust repaying it in kind. 1 overhead for another. Ooh, up 3. Oh. Another overhead. I told you, relentless dedication to the mix-up.
Yep, there's the safety. No, but the low.
No, but not only that, he delayed the low so that you think a forward 2 is coming. Oh, God. The mix never ends.
1-2-4 ender. He still got it. Ugh. Oh, catching the way up.
Lord.
And that
Mighty
was a
Unjust.
swift final game. Yes, Mighty Unjust going to be prevailing over Biohazard another time.
He's going to create the flavors.
And, yep, craft the flavors by hand.
Flavor craftsman. Sub-Zero.
The creator of the flavor.
Flavor creator.
Winners finals, though, for Unjust once again in not so shocking fashion. I think I'm definitely happy to see Bio still continue to experiment, though. I think seeing him go with the Vegemite buff, and it's something I haven't really seen him play much at all since Ultimate, but I do think there's still a place for it. I think the way he was using it makes sense. I think starting with Cetrion was kind of really imperative for Unjust, considering we know that Cetrion is a character that does very well against some of the... So you look at the fact that Bio struggles against Sub-Zero, and the characters that he finds as an answer to Sub-Zero don't do very well against Cetrion, or like this extreme kind of keep away, long limbs, that kind of thing. So the fact that he starts with Cetrion, knowing that Bio's been looking progressively more comfortable with other characters against Sub, that was literally just one of those like character select genius moves, you know, which is definitely an unsung part of being a competitive player, especially if you play multiple characters, to know about that and how to use character select to your advantage. It doesn't even sound like a big deal, but I promise you it makes a difference if you're the kind of player that plays a ton of characters anyway. There's definitely a certain skill to it.
But it's just the progression of their character matchups continue. I think the Kano did really well against both characters. The final game was just rough. It got mixed all over the place. Gambler able to already defeat Breaking off stream, which means that Gambler is waiting in the top 4. But they were close games. 3-2 against El Cacoy, 3-2 against Breaking. And now off stream, Biohazard versus Teaser will be happening. Find out who's going to make top 4, as our winners finals is now going to be Tweedy versus the mighty Unjust, which is a matchup that I've wanted to see for a while, but we haven't had the chance to see it much
until now.
Until now, yes. For those that are watching and you want to compete in these tournaments yourselves, it's a very simple, self-explanatory process. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch, scroll down on the webpage. There's a little icon you can click, and it's right there, compete.playstation.com. It tells you how to sign up and get involved in not only the Open Series, but the Pro competition as well, for all the different regions that includes. And it couldn't be simpler. We'd love to see you, and we'd love to chat over your gameplay. Now, when we return, we will be doing the winners finals all the way through to the rest of the tournament. So thank you for joining us so far. In a few minutes, we'll be right back for more Mortal Kombat.
The PS4 Tournament's Open Series has been full of fantastic finishes, killer combos, and a friendship or two.
This is going to be my favorite friendship in the game.
We've seen promising new players and household names continue to dominate.
I think that's it. Yeah, mighty Unjust, 26 wins in 34 streams.
Do not miss a single moment of the PS4 Tournament's Open Series monthly finals.
PlayStation.
This is the Mortal Kombat character breakdown. A real fan favorite makes his return after many years and is already seeing action in the competitive circuit. Rain brings forward fantastic movement, stylish combos, and a little something for everyone. Now, as this is a breakdown post-Ultimate, which introduced custom variations, this time round we'll be covering some of the more prominent specials that players like to compete with at this moment. First things first, look at that movement. This character has absolute incredible dash speed and the ability to truly glide around the screen. It makes his hit-and-run playstyle work fantastically well. Qatar Toss is a straight projectile that, when amplified, becomes a mid. Really good for pressure on block and a fast projectile standalone. Geyser Kick is the famous round-the-world attack that repositions the opponent on hit, landing a full combo when amplified. Argus Plunge is a charge attack that does extra damage on amplify. The thing is, this has a crushing blow attached, and it's also Rain's armor break. Very versatile. Now, with abilities, Hydro Boost replaces the Geyser Kick. This move gives different combos, but importantly, the ability to do attacks from the air on block for increased pressure. Water Ball replaces Qatar Toss, and it gives multiple direction options for the user when you amplify it. This has some heavy hitting combos and impressive damage all round. A great combo conversion tool. Tidal Wave brings safety to the table with a lot of pushback on the amplified version, popular with those that like to mix up their attacks at close range. Finally, the Geyser Palm allows Rain to get much better combos and conversions off certain strings that he otherwise wouldn't. With just one slot to equip this move, it seems almost essential for competitive Rain players right now. The Prince of Edenia has not disappointed with his competitive debut. A high-speed playstyle, amazing movement, tools to confirm into different combos and damage, and a real sense of style that can't be matched. Play Rain, and you'll certainly have a great time.
PlayStation.
This is the Mortal Kombat character breakdown.
Nightwolf.
Making his first appearance in Mortal Kombat 3 back in 1995, the Spirit Warrior returns in MK11 with all kinds of classic moves and a hefty amount of new ones that can give old-school Nightwolf fans a new experience while still retaining his more special elements. His classic moves are a core of his game plan. The straight arrow is a fast projectile that, on Amplify, will fire multiple shots. Rhino Charge is a fantastic whiff punisher. It has great knockdown frames and, on Amplify, will do extra damage, and contain a rather cheeky crushing blow. Reflector is a Nightwolf staple. This move will reflect most projectiles back at the opponent, which makes him impossible to zone out. Abilities are where Nightwolf changes up a little bit, and here are some of the more commonly used moves that we see in competitive play. Lightning Arrow is a mid, which means it can't be crouched. It does great damage and it knocks down. Combine this with his already amazing Reflector, and you become an irritating opponent at range. Rising Tomahawk is one of your combo tools. It costs 2 slots to equip, but the combo and conversion potential makes it a fantastic addition to any loadout. It combos meterlessly in the corner as well. Spirit Tracks is a low-hitting roll attack that can go under certain projectiles. However, this can be coupled with another ability that allows you to amplify it for a launch, meaning Nightwolf has 2 different combo abilities to choose between: Rising Tomahawk for conversions and corner, and Spirit Tracks for the range and roll potential. Nightwolf can have a command grab, which deals extra damage on Amplify, on top of having way more knockdown frames, which helps for setup, but it couples up as an armor break. Nice. A more unusual move, but one that we might start seeing more, is Moonfall. Nightwolf throws his tomahawk on the ground, and it can be recalled as an attack that will allow for combos and potential mind games. While on the ground though, certain attacks become unusable until it's called back. Finally, Nightwolf can equip multiple buffs, and here they are. Spirit of Kiba increases damage dealt. Spirit of Como reduces the damage that you take, and Spirit of Hannah buffs your Rhino Charge. Hannah's Wrath is a separate ability that will send Hannah out at the opponent, and it temporarily stops them from amplifying their attacks. Nightwolf is a beast up close thanks to his string versus throw mind game, and his multitude of abilities that change up how you approach him. A fantastic pick for the Brawler archetype, and a classic MK character making a powerful return.
PlayStation.
We are once again in the later stages of our latest PS4 tournaments MK11 Open Series Invitational. I'd like to welcome everyone back. Thank you for watching, and my name is Ketchup, joined by Mustard. We're about to jump into the winners finals, which is going to be Tweedy versus Mighty Unjust, a matchup that I've been wanting to see in the Open Series for some time. Tweedy doing much better in winners than he normally does, which is a really great immediate improvement. His Geras has been an absolute beast, and Unjust has just been doing unjust things, as you probably expect. We can already see King Gambler is in the top 4, so when the match between Biohazard and Teaser comes to a close, we'll have our top 4 set in stone, and all of those matches will be streamed. Biohazard and Teaser is the last match not to be streamed. And we're going to be closing out the night, basically. It's been a fun day so far. Mustard and good matches.
Honestly, it's been nice. It's been a nice return. You know, that those of you that watch every week, you know, I've not been here for a couple of weeks, you know, due to various personal reasons. And even though I've only missed 2 weeks of tournaments, which is literally just 2 shows, I feel like I'm months behind. But just that there's so much progresses with these players in such a small space of time. It just makes me really happy to come back to it today. And you know, Tweedy, for example, wasn't playing in these last time I was doing one, and it's nice to see him come in today, make winners finals relatively unchallenged. And this is a match that I personally haven't seen so far in the Open Series. You know, Unjust versus Tweedy, 2 players that by their own right, very strong, very powerful, very successful as well, facing off. You know, this really is one of those like top level matches that I'm happy that we get to see in the Open Series. I know when Open Series first began, I know not a tremendous amount of competitive players entered it, and I mean literally for like the first month or so, because it was like, it started right as Final Combat kind of finished, so I know some players were taking a bit of a break, some players didn't want to get burnt out, so they were kind of, you know, taking it easy. Aftermath was out, so they were kind of still learning the game, maybe didn't feel ready to compete. But over the months, we are beginning to see, and now have been seeing for a long time, the best players. You know, a lot of the best players are entering, and North America no exception, as we look like we're going to be going to Geras versus Sub-Zero in what are 2 of the best players in North America. Tweedy, Mighty Unjust going back to the kind of tried and true variation, Rising Ice, Creeping Ice, Air Axe, and Tweedy with, I mean, the variation that we've seen him use with Geras. So let's go.
What is
Winner of this grand
basically
finals.
Infinite Warden, because he never uses Shifting Sand. It's not a major part of his game plan, to be honest. But
I think it's more of a matchup thing. I think some characters will struggle against it more than others. Ironically, I actually think Sub-Zero is one of them that I think might have a harder time dealing with it.
I certainly don't say it like it's a problem. You know, what Tweedy does works extremely well, and it's one of the reasons his Geras is just so insanely good. Wow. Chasing down the jump in splash, and Tweedy, I know that he won't fear Unjust here. You know, he's going to do his thing. He's going to keep it to this core. Wake up down 1. That's an immediate challenge and a risk, but a risk that Unjust wants to establish.
Okay,
now there's the Creeping Ice.
The Creeping Ice. Oh, jump kick OS. That was nice. I don't think that was an OS. I think that was just manually timed.
Oh, the confirm. Mighty Unjust.
Nice pickup.
So yeah, dominant round 1 here from Tweedy, but I kind of think Mighty Unjust, that they're both players with a similar just swing playstyle. You know, they're very confident, they have a lot of matchup knowledge combined, but they're both kind of aggressive players, and they don't fear being on that kind of quick defense either.
But that's the thing, just because they prefer offense doesn't mean they're not afraid to kind of slow it down when need be. And I think that is a sign of a true top player. It's being able to kind of have that versatility. Big whip punish. Tweedy maybe expecting Unjust to move in, and Unjust did the exact opposite. A swift back dash just to get some space established. Ooh.
Wake up, forward dash 1-2. I mean, this is the way we're at. This is where we're at in the set. Both players, they know how to respect each other, but they just make these crazy hard reads on how the other player is going to react.
But even then, though,
whatever.
Tweedy still tried to break away. I think he maybe assumed he would survive like the grab portion of the Amplify slide, but it went through. Oh, no punish on the slide. That is surprising.
Yeah, but you combine that with the flawless block on the slide, I think it kind of took him by surprise.
Oh, not going to miss the punish on that, though. Unjust getting a little bit too ahead of himself that time.
Another down 1 just to steal it away. The body splash, and that is the single hit I was talking about. Gets the full confirm as well. Really good damage for a jump in, 38%.
Oh, dash under?
Immediate.
No, but the instant jump to get off the ground. Tweedy, swift game 1, and you have to be so careful with. There's a reason why Geras' body splash is just so scary, and a big part is because it's a jump 2, right? So it has jump 2 damage
Or it's jump down 2. But you know what I mean? It's a special jump normal off 2. So it does the jump 2's damage, which is the highest jump normal you can do scaling-wise. But you confirm the jump in is going to hit, and then standing 4 bed of spikes. That is the highest damage opener that Geras has, which is why it turned into 380.
But you don't see a lot of players do it because it's not quite a single hit confirm.
Yeah, you need bed of spikes. Yeah. You're not confirming the standing 4. You're seeing that the jump in is going to hit, so you know you can do standing 4. You know, it is a confirm, but you're not confirming a single
But when you've mastered that technique, which Tweedy has, you know, it was unusual to see him not get it earlier, because when we last saw him last week, he was hitting that every time, which gives you a 38% 1-bar combo, you know, off a splash, off one of the best jump-ins. This is post.
Do you remember that time, like may have even been this time last year, where they actually toned down like his they actually nerfed his combo route, so he actually couldn't do what would have been optimal for the time. And he's still doing this much damage. You know, Geras, the unnerfable.
I mean, the man's eternal. He's lived 1,000 life cycles. But it is going to be the Liu Kang coming out from Mighty Unjust this time.
And I love this Liu Kang skin, though. I wish more Liu Kangs used it. For the amount of Liu Kang players there are, we see a shocking low amount of his cosmetics.
Ooh, and he ducks the final hit.
There's the knowledge. Now, if there's a matchup you know that Tweedy's going to know, it's going to be Liu Kang. You know, Tweedy versus Ninja Killer, one of the most memorable matches of Final Combat. You know, he's played this matchup many times.
That was such an incredible set. I was really lucky to be commentating that, I think. It was such a good set. Back in the day, but...
Not even back in the day. It wasn't even a year ago. It just feels like it.
Back in the day.
This makes us feel less weird about the year. Now again, Tweedy. I did say before.
He's not going to take the bait of doing Oh, wait a minute. Oh my god. The round's been over twice. Oh my god.
And now it's definitely over. An unfortunate finish. Tweedy actually dropping the ball there a little bit.
So
we saw him get quite a confirm, but he didn't finish. Yeah, he didn't. It was the string he didn't finish. It was the standing 2 string that he just... Wait, no, he's alive. What?
Wait, excuse me?
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Now, what I was going to say...
round.
What I was going to say, 2 misconfirms, but also he wasn't taking the bait on the anti-air sand trap. I think he was really betting on like an air projectile or something, so he didn't want to be too obvious on that one. But now here comes the corner.
Again, though.
Yeah, corner pressure, this Liu Kang pick. That round really was Tweedy, so he has a lot of work to do to bring this one back. Oh, the tick grab.
That reached. I'm actually really surprised he was still in range for that to even pick up. Oh, big neutral jump. Still punished. No KB. Does he need it? A little bit left. The roll. Oh, the down 1. And the big neutral jump. Mighty Unjust manages to find the answer. Still, though, this swap to Liu Kang, not too surprising. You know, Unjust, we even saw it against Biohazard. A man of many characters. You know, you take one out convincingly, chances are he's just going to swap to something else. And especially against a player like Tweedy that I'm sure he would have played plenty of times before.
No doubt.
In various ways. But on the flip side, Tweedy, not really the same kind of player. I don't imagine Tweedy... I mean, Tweedy has played a bunch of characters over the course of the game, right? We've seen, quite recently, we've seen Melina, but early on, you know, he played some first-round Jackie. Frost was, you know, he was a big Frost advocate for a while. But when push comes to shove, Geras is the character for Tweedy in this game. And that's where he's got the most of his success, so I'm not surprised we'll see him continue to pick it. But we have to remember, this is winners finals. Winner of this makes it grand finals on the winner's side, so you will be having that ultimate safety net and be that one step closer to the lion's share of the $600 prize pot that we play for each region every single week here on the Open Series, presented by PlayStation. But we are far from finished in this winners finals. We are only 1 game apiece. We have plenty left to go.
We're already starting to see those back-to-back down 1s as well. Tweedy looking for the cheeky stuff, that fast poke, and here is the immediate opening. So now Tweedy begins. Ooh, back-to-back. Right, now what's it going to be? There's the standing 1. Wait, he's doing that thing he does where he just dedicates to a hard option and it just always seems to be the right one, doesn't it?
I mean, a big part of being a top player is just that ability to read, right? What they're going to do, what they normally go for. Big grab.
Oh, here we go
big
again.
punish.
That's
Yeah,
the
that's going
round
to be
for
the
sure.
round. There's no way
Without
he breaks,
question.
surely. Oh, spends both bars just to be sure. Okay, I respect it. I respect it.
Well, he'll build meter in between the rounds at least.
Fight.
I mean, he won't build anywhere close to what he spent, but at least he got the round.
Half a bar into sand trap, that'll do
And
it.
then side switches anyway. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit puzzled by that.
Be humble.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
Starting to get a bit of a taste of his own medicine, though. Button or grab.
Corner pressure. Oh no. Throw loops. This is the mix-up. Strike throw. Yep. There we go. There's the tech, but already the damage is done. Half life now, not there. Oh my max range.
Another one. The up 3 working out for another time here. A grab. Escape failed. He tried so hard to tech it. But grabbed out. The meaty mid. Empty jump. 1-1. And hang on a minute. Oh! He goes for it. But he can't find it.
Oh, that was a slight duck into fatal blow, of course. Mighty Unjust not going to be missing a full string confirmed like that. And that is going to be a unfortunate situation if you are Tweedy, considering he was so close to sealing that game away. But you can at least take a silver lining. At least the fatal blow is off the table. But we have to remember, this is still round 3 Liu Kang. There's plenty left to spend to do similar damage.
Wow! Just letting that rip. I mean, letting that go in round 3. Oh, okay, that's 1. He still has a lot of other Geras crushing blows ready, so we're talking about round 3 Liu Kang. Tweedy actually does have some pretty large threats himself.
That is true.
Plus
Some
frames.
real game changing. Oh, tries to walk back. Not a single person has actually sat there and respected those plus frames today. Every time Tweedy has gone for a down 1, it's always connected on something. All clean.
And yeah. Oh, but he buffers. I mean, I'm not even sure if that was a buffer because he was so close.
Oh, and the meaty backbreaker will seal it for Tweedy as he goes up 2-1 and another very close match. I mean, this is the winners finals I completely expected. We are trading game for game. Almost every match is going to round 3. Like, this is the essential what I thought was going to happen. And that you got 2 of the top level players in North America playing for money. Like, this is inevitable. And Tweedy now 1 game away from that winner's side grand finals, which is all too familiar a spot for Mighty Unjust. Only this week he might not be getting it unless he can make something work. The question is, do you think he's going to swap again? I kind of don't think so personally. I just don't see it.
Yeah, the Liu Kang looked right. Unless he has this other answer, which he might see as a bad match or something. Yeah, it's hard to say. And for Mighty Unjust, the Sub-Zero does tend to be the comfort for him. Like, when the chips are down, it's either Sub-Zero or it's Noob Saibot. That tends to be his kind of pattern when he's up against the wall. And in this instance, it will be Sub-Zero again. Tweedy looked really good in game 1, but again, 1 game, it's hard to gauge enough information over whether, you know, that game had anything to do with Sub-Zero. And clearly, Geras, a matchup you'll know if you're Unjust, because Geras is a really popular character in North America. And we'll just see how this potential final match goes, really.
Well, that's the word, right? Potential final match. A good opening for Mighty Unjust. Oh, there's the overhead. Now, that's a big one. Mighty Unjust. Not really a player too really known for committing to the overhead options. In fact, whenever we see Unjust go for overhead, it's like 9 times out of 10 creeping ice. You know, much more about just the annoyance. Oh, nice pickup. Oh, but there it is. Now the commitment. Yeah, that's the change. Actually, is he?
Tweedy.
Surely not.
Wait a minute.
Not from this health.
Oh, I was 1% off. Never mind. The meaty forward 2 does it, and it's a wake-up option that Mighty Unjust doesn't have options for because he has no defensive bar. And now, the match point for Tweedy. Winner's side grand finals would be a great morale boost for him, and this could be the beginning of the end because what's the sequence? 1-1. That's a guaranteed 18% just like that. 19. I mean, closer to 20, honestly.
Yeah, I was going to say closer to 200 damage, to be honest. Always has been one of the highest just single strings for damage in the game. Oh, speaking of damage, one of the heaviest hitting crushing blows in the entire game, that. I think it might be the highest damage counter hit crushing blow in the game. Good Fuzzy, but not in return. The overhead connecting this time.
But now the fatal blow.
Yes, fatal blow, yeah. But what's going to happen from it?
Tweedy, he flawless blocked the forward 4, but he had no meter to up 2. Plus frames again, this time. Again.
So much body splash. And there's another one.
Oh my god.
But the low. Reset into fatal blow or just spend it? Yeah,
he'll spend it. He'll spend it. But what's next? Because he'll survive. He'll survive.
He definitely will. Don't think he'll even get the life lead. Maybe close. Only just.
Oh my god, Tweedy just swung it out.
Now Chip, even Chip. Oh, and the environment to the face. The vase pot disc. I don't even know what you call it.
Chandelier.
It's definitely not a chandelier.
God. It looks a bit like a chandelier. By the way, brain through the face.
My goodness. Tweedy with the result in winners finals, knocking down current champion. I mean, in a row. I mean, if those of you that have been here since the start of the show will remember our previous winners graphic. It shows like the last 5 tournaments, I think, and all 5 of them near enough have been won by Mighty Unjust on stream. So that's quite the turnaround for Tweedy to be able to send him packing down to the losers bracket. Now sitting in grand finals winners side. And I'll be honest, just a really solid play overall. Tweedy looking really good as expected. And they're going to be continuing to do so today. You know, I'm really happy to see Tweedy start entering the Open Series more. He's been in the last, like, what, this is his 3rd tournament in a row, I think. He's been in the last 3, including today. So it's nice to see him playing in. And not too surprising to see him get a grand finals so quickly.
We get to see just then how much damage you can get if you're looking for that single hit off the body splash, something that Tweedy's been doing for a long time. And I feel like there's definitely a real scenario here for Tweedy to get an Open Series win, which is something that, look, so we've seen Tweedy for 3 of these, and in the first performance, it completely took me by surprise where Biohazard got like a very dominant, fast 3-0 with some ridiculous Kano play, right? And I was like, that genuinely surprised me. I thought Tweedy was probably going to win that, and it would be close, and then it didn't go that way. The week afterwards has to fight El Cacoy. I would have absolutely pinned him to beat El Cacoy, but El Cacoy beat him in winners, and Tweedy had to go through the losers bracket, right? And I think he lost to Aztec. My point is that when I saw that Tweedy was going to enter Open Series, with this showing, I thought this would be his very first showing, which I think is a testament to just how high level North America is. That Tweedy, he's able to get grand finals today, but he's still himself had to work into Open Series and get familiar with the players and the characters and the matchups and everything else, and he's got there. It took very little time, and now Tweedy is showing everyone why he is strongly considered by a lot of people to be one of the best players in the game right now. Winner side grand finals against Unjust, who is the most successful Open Series player in history, you know? Like, that's a great showing.
Looking at the kind of players that are still left in this tournament, right? Seeing that, you know, we have... we've got Biohazard, we've got Gambler, we've got Mighty Unjust still. These are very strong players. So to see that this is what's left in the tournament, to watch it from the sidelines in winner side grand finals, that's got to be some level of relief, right? To know that almost all the job is done. Almost, you can't get too comfortable because you haven't won until you've won. But knowing that you're one set away, you've got that safety net of the reset. You can now watch and see what happens if anyone pulls out some other characters, which, to be honest, we could see. We have Unjust, we have Biohazard. I definitely think there is a chance we could see some other variations picked that we haven't seen yet, because they're 2 players that are definitely not afraid to. I mean, maybe more so for Bio than Unjust nowadays. I feel like Unjust's experimental days are somewhat behind him. I think we kind of know exactly what to expect, and if he is picking a character, he's not going to be picking like other moves. Like, he tends to go with the curve a lot more nowadays. But Biohazard, on the other hand, just as you know, willing to try all sorts of different moves and variations as ever. So there's definitely a chance we could see that. But the fact that Tweedy can now just sit from the sidelines and watch it in grand finals while he awaits to see who is going to be his opponent, I think he'll be comfortable with that. But we are going into our next match, which is going to be Biohazard versus King Gambler. The run back. The run back again. Biohazard winning this 3-0 very comfortably in winner's side earlier on. This is a new
variation
day.
Has a different name, so I actually think it might be different moves.
Oh.
Let's have a look.
Well, it was Rising Tomahawk and Command Grab. What is it this time?
So this time it will be... What's it going to be?
Okay. I like this.
Hannah's Wrath.
Yeah, this is the bird projectile that when it comes into contact with the opponent on hit or block, disables their ability to spend bar for a few seconds. I'll be honest, Don't know how impactful I can see that being against Bio. I think, if anything, its biggest impact is going to be stopping flawless blocks. Because flawless blocks are a huge part of Bio's game plan, but if you've been hit by Hannah's Wrath, you can't do the flawless block attacks. I don't see it making a big difference for like Baraka's like moves, but that's going to be the real changer, I think. Oh, nice. Oh. Big chunky damage there.
And knockdown into Rhino Charge, letting him send out Hannah's Wrath. Oh, overcommits though. Overcommits. Now more of these pokes. Hannah's Wrath back to business. And this is where we start to get really interesting. And I like that King Gambler keeps it like nice and consistent too. In theory, could have done the meterless launcher, but it's kind of tricky. And if you spend it, look, it's gonna work, you know. You try and challenge that Hannah's Wrath, you get hit by an arrow instead because it's a lot faster. I'm curious about this Gambler. I haven't seen him play since Ultimate. I've really wondered what his versatility is like with Nightwolf.
Now, I actually have seen him play Hannah's Wrath before, so I know this is something he has definitely put time into. It's just, it's such a strange move. The big thing is that it applies on block. So even on block, their defensive options go down. Because remember, anything that involves bar spent, you can't do. So no wake-up attacks, no roll, no up 3, no up 2, no flawless block attacks, no amplifying. And I really think it's the defensive options that are the biggest. Big punish, yeah.
Lovely reaction on that forward 2.
Punish. Well, this variation isn't really going to be able to do anything else off that, though, right? The overhead. Like, the second you finish that string on block, you're going to be doing something unsaved. Oh, nice idea. A bone picker, very not meter intensive when it comes to its damage, especially near the corner. There it is again. Hannah's Wrath applied on block.
We're starting to enforce a lot more grabs as well, something that we didn't really see Gambler do beforehand. Uh-oh, Cyber Sub-Zero coming out to play.
Advantage for the slight walk back. Okay, there's a big confirm. Oh no, he dropped it.
King Gambler, that is really unfortunate, but Bio with the drop as well.
No, Bio tried to get a pickup, but it was too far away. Oh, but a big uppercut.
Oh my
goodness, a big uppercut and a big raw Rhino charge. That was a read and a half, and it will pay off. Gambler. Now, this is always something I love watching, because Open Series is it's an 8-man double elim tournament. We actually see a lot of runbacks in the weeklies compared to like a traditional top 8. Because we have an opportunity to see it, right? We see all of round 1 winners. There's a good chance that this right here is going to be a runback of some sort. It's most of the time the case. But we rarely see repeat results. You know, case in point right here, this was a 3-0. To be honest, just a sweep for Biohazard. It was very one-sided. Yeah, it was destruction. But already in the runback, game number 1, it was a close game, but Gambler won it. He's already done more damage in this set, in the one game, than he did the entirety of the first time they fought today. So that is a testament to the kind of the new variation change and what it can do.
Look at it. Giving himself Hannah's Wrath or access to it, it means that he was only using the command grab as a combo ender, but the Rhino Charge can be that combo ender. So there were no ticks or anything like that. So he's already going to get way more utility out of this move instead of command grab.
I mean, taking away Bio's ability to flawless block attack, like if there's one person in the community that taking away flawless blocks is going to be a big deal against, it's going to be someone like Bio that really thrives on them. Entire. Ooh, punish on hit though. Now Nightwolf definitely not afraid to hit that damage.
Hannah's Wrath, meaty on wake up. Not seen that before.
I wonder if I wonder what it is on block then if you do it on BT like that.
Part of me thinks hit because he went for it like almost like getting comboed. However, there's the side switching throw. Looking for the Hannah's Wrath. This is where things get really interesting for me. He's shutting it down. Another bar spent. Boom. 1-1-1. Rhino Charge. And Nightwolf really looking better now as it's going to be King Gambler. Hang on a minute. This variation change, on top of the fact that he's just being a bit more assertive, everything kind of went wrong for him against Bio before, but now he's able to establish himself more.
Yeah, there's that down 3. I will say Gambler is... Oh, no, there's the pickup. Yeah, couldn't get... That was a bit too low to the ground, I think. Those corner combos, a lot easier said than done. I think Gambler, he's really picked his options at dealing with this forward 2 game, right? Every time Bio finishes the string, he's using that down 3 so good. No bar to get any more, but he still wants to go for the launch potential. Maybe try and get a breakaway out of Bio. There's the overhead.
Jump forward 2.
And that is going to be enough damage for the full overhead.
King Gambler,
finish off as Gambler.
Right now.
Gets the full confirm off the overhead. Fatal blow is good.
Do we now see a variation of
2-0 lead now. Now, I mean,
because
just as quickly as I said before,
playing against now is
when you see runbacks, it doesn't always mean the exact same result. We are seeing exactly that right here, as we might even see the polar opposite, as we could still see a 3-0 maybe, just not in the way it went before. Perhaps Gambler can make it work.
I am really enjoying watching King Gambler here. Gonna be honest, I haven't seen him play since Ultimate. I know he's kind of had some, like, you know, live stuff. Like, I know he was moving recently or something, but I haven't seen him much personally. It's not that he hasn't been playing; it's that I just haven't caught his game.
Yeah.
So it's great to see it.
So we are seeing him. Yeah. Now back to Kano for, again, what is the last opportunity for this set. Now this is the Kano Nation variation. Hang on. Does that rhyme? I don't know if it counts.
Can I just quickly go on record and say, I saw people in chat mentioning it. I'm pretty sure for about a minute we couldn't hear each other because I think we were talking over each other, but I couldn't hear him, and I'm assuming you couldn't hear me.
No, I could hear you.
Wait, what? Wait. Mate. So you were just talking over me, apparently? I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you, so I was just talking.
I mean, no. Just to break kayfabe, you left the call. I thought you just left.
No, I didn't. Well,
yeah, you did on mine.
I don't know that I did.
Sorry, this is highly unprofessional, but just with the tech we're using, you left the call for me, so I thought it was a you thing. So I started speaking because you left. I thought I had to make up for the fact that you just went dead silent. Well, that might be what they're talking about.
I didn't realize that I disconnected because I couldn't tell at all because my feed is still working. Well, this was very, very bizarre. The technology, folks. Technology. Anyway, this change to Kano has been really good for Bio.
That was a swift round, regardless. Now we got to the bottom of this. Now Kano, I love, so Biohazard doing a lot of down 4 tick grabs now, and we've actually talked to him about this. It's really cool where down 4 command grab obviously is a tick throw on block from like max range, but on hit, like if down 4 hits and command grab comes out, it's one of the few pokes into command grabs that actually isn't unsafe on hit. Like you actually are completely safe even if they get hit by the down 4, and that's really good.
What? Another 1-1-1. Now it's Bio. Wow, the trade. Really good trade for Bio, in fact, because that combo is going to win the game. And this change to Kano, it's been good. He brutalities at every possible opportunity, doesn't he?
I mean, why not? When you have the amount of brutalities that Kano has access to, why not? Almost every special you end in is going to result in it. But no, just to quickly clear up the confusion, I assumed you were like disconnecting from what we're using to commentate. So when I heard you just go silent,
yeah, you were correct, but I couldn't tell, so I just kept on going.
So when I heard you like leave, I was like, uh-oh, he's gone. Maybe his internet's gone because there's a storm going through the UK. So I'm like, maybe there's heavy weather, wind, rain, whatever. So I was like, he's gone quiet. I should probably talk to kind of clear up the silence and maybe hide the fact that he's not there. But apparently you're still coming through, so it just meant that I just talked over you for like 20 seconds. But hey, you know, in the future, I just let there be absolute silence. Now, King Gambler, this is more important, much more relevant to the tournament at hand. The Jade change.
It is. I have never seen him play. I've never seen him play Jade. I don't know. A long time ago, King Gambler's original main before Nightwolf was Scarlet, but I've not seen him play Jade before. So we'll have a look at this
me neither. I haven't seen him play anything but Nightwolf for a long time. But the fact that he swapped away makes me think maybe he just doesn't like fighting Kano as Nightwolf. Because that was a very one-sided match, and he wasted no time in changing.
Ooh, the catch!
Ooh, wake up down 4. Oh, the knowledge. There's the matchup knowledge. If you crouch block the air ball, you can duck underneath the amplify, get a full punish.
The ranged up 3.
Oh, punish. And look at that, almost 150 damage special move. Veggie Mighty. Kano bull buff. He's dead. Back 1. Oh, mistimed. Rare footage of that not working out. That should have been guaranteed death. But won't matter. There's a confirm. And look at that. Meterless 175 off that mid. For the full confirm.
Match point now for Biohazard. top 3 finish in the Open Series would be just a really nice continuation of what has been a
not quite
successful.
Remember, Bio won he just won his first game. He went down 2 games and then changed to Kano and then won 1 game. So it's actually 2-1 Gambler.
I'm not used to them side switching. I'm really not. I'm getting completely mixed up. Biohazard, never mind, because he is well on the way. You know, if I said this maybe like 30, if I said this like 20 seconds later, I would have been totally valid, because he's about to win this game. Look, check this out.
Yeah, this is dominant. There's just something different about Bio's Kano that it's just a level of comfort. It's just a level of comfort that you don't see in his other characters. And that's saying a lot, because he's put a tremendous amount of time into Baraka, into other characters that he's played over the time, but when Bio goes to when Bio goes to Kano, it just looks right on him. And this variation as well, this Veggie Mighty, we're definitely seeing more of it. And again, it's the experimentation that I'm really a big fan of. Like seeing Bio with command grab and extended strings, like that is the Bio that we know and love. You know, the extended strings for the good overhead, the high damage, the command grab, because it's Bio, obviously a command grab is going to be there. But that elusive third slot that has so many options, whether it's Acid, Veggie Mighty, Biomagnetic Pull, whatever you want, right? There are so many potential things.
He has so many variations that he's used in tournament with Kano as well.
Yeah.
An absolute fantastic amount. But King Gambler, he's going back in for the Nightwolf. I actually think he's gone in for the first variation. Visually, it's different. Now, what's he got? Yes, Rising Tomahawk and Tomahawk Swing. Now, one would think he's going to do a similar up-close game, but I think he might try and put some more tick grabs on top. Because he didn't do any tick grabs when they fought in winners, but I think he might be a bit more comfortable now. But we'll see. Oh my god. Whiff into flawless block up 2. That was readiness.
That was a Bio flawless block. Ever I've seen
it
one.
Really was. Command grab ender. Thank you very much.
I mean, it doesn't do bad damage.
Oh no, definitely not. And it keeps you point blank.
Now, here's where things get really tricky. The Veggie Mighty on block into ball or command grab, like it's a very guttural mix-up, but it's one that definitely works.
Bio, he's not going to break, but now gets clipped by the back 3.
Now this does not scale and does a lot of damage by itself. I actually wonder if he's dead.
Surely not.
Might be. No, not quite. Not quite. I know Nightwolf is one of those characters that does so much.
Oh my god, the trip. Oh, the air to air. Bio looking for every option, and the jump in kick on wake up was not one of them. King Gambler now, he's on match point. But Biohazard. Ah, so I guess the spit whiffs on Nightwolf too. Oh god.
Provided you crouch block, that's the one. You have to crouch block it.
I do not think Bio is prepared for these kind of just instant jumps, to be honest.
Well, Gambler definitely finding the big uppercut. Gambler's definitely being quite squirmy on defense. I think you kind of need to. Oh, what a pickup. That full confirm.
Oh my god. It is such a sneaky 23%. And the down 1. Oh, he knows. He knows you're looking for the neutral duck. Eat this down 1. And now a match point for both.
Even if he blocked it or died, he had no last breath. Kano ball does a decent amount of chip by itself. Now it's going to be potentially a reverse 3-0. If Bio can make this Kano work, there it is. Now 1 life bar to go. When you're against Veggie Mighty with command grab, this does not look like fun city to live. Ah! Almost half-life gone already. Empty jump, that was a smart. Gambler keeping himself as safe as possible, but goes over. God. Yep.
Oh, King Gambler, this could be a last chance. The pickup's really lovely, but not able to really get much else. The loopable forward throw. Okay, what's next? Jump kick. The neutral jumps, but no possibility. Lovely block, but the counter on the armor break. Biohazard.
Oh my goodness. And there it is. Knife amplify to seal the deal, and Biohazard getting another 3rd place minimum as he's going to advance to losers fund. It has, and now we've just seen his questionably shiny head. Is he wearing like a cowl or something? No, it's literally just his head.
It's just blood, Jake. There's a lot of it.
Like a bowling ball from that angle.
It doesn't. No, not.
But that does mean
why
that
I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that comparison because it's so right. Anyway,
we're going to be seeing the run back, yes, of Biohazard versus Mighty Unjust for the 2nd time. Now, we're used to seeing this matchup twice in the same Open Series, but it's rarely like round 2 and then losers finals. Normally when we see this twice, it's usually winners finals and then grand finals, the run back or something like that. But today,
it just hasn't gone that way. You know, it's Tweedy waiting in grand finals winner's side for the winner of this match. But before we do, I want to say as well, you know, we do always talk about how runbacks are aplenty in open series and how it's nice to see other results. But today was definitely a great example of that with Gambler. Even though Gambler did end up losing the set, the fact that he got pretty much just stomped 3-0 in winners and then was able to bring things back to a 2-0 lead. And then, yes, unfortunately, the reverse 3-game sweep, but it was still a game 5. It was a close match. He was able to adapt to the Baraka, which is the one that gave him problems in the first place. And even though it didn't work out for him in the end, still good to see him playing and get into this top 4 territory, and hopefully that we see him again soon, because this isn't the first time we've seen Gambler, but it's been a while since we've seen him. I remember back when Gambler first started entering open series, and it was actually one of the only times that we weren't able to play grand finals, because he got to grand finals without so much of a problem. But then, like, his internet just stopped working because, like, you know, he just moved house and there was a bunch of, you know, installation going on or something along those lines, and he basically just kept disconnecting. And in the end, he had to throw in the towel and say, you know, sorry about the delay, but I don't think I can play. And it was the only time that we've ever had to pull the plug in the middle of grand finals. So I'm happy to see him months later coming back in, you know, placing top 4, placing in the money, and still doing well for himself. And without so much as a connection hiccup from him. So happy to see that kind of progression as well. We are moving through to the runback of the runback of the runback times infinity at this point. Who knows? But regardless, it's happening again. Mighty Unjust versus Biohazard. What do we expect?
What can we say about this set that we haven't said thousands of times? Not, you know, actually thousands of times. But
we're probably getting close.
Well, yeah. A couple more of these and we'll be there. But let's talk
like
about,
two
I
off,
guess,
2 off.
All we can really talk about, I think, is for those that... And I'd like to say every step of the way that people always believe in Biohazard. Look at that poll result. 59%. No matter what's been going on, people always...
That's more than he got voted for in the same poll in winners, and he lost in winners. So the result got more to him when he lost last time.
But I think...
If that's not just blind devotion from chat, I don't know what is...
But I think what happens is all we can really do is talk about when they last played. And when they last played, Bio looked really good, actually. He was able to beat the Cetrion, which put Unjust back onto Sub-Zero. So we basically, I think we're in a position now where that first game is... We've kind of gone back to that first game meaning the most, because now we know that Unjust... Yeah, here we are. So is it Nightwolf? But if he sees the Nightwolf does Unjust, because he can technically change character.
I think he's just picking it again. I think he's just going to stick in with the sub. I don't think it's a hard counter. I think it's just something that Bio has been doing well with.
Of all of Bio's characters, he likes Nightwolf the most for it, and he's actually been... Don't want to jinx him, but obviously I had to talk about previous weeks. It has been his solution to Nightwolf.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Sub-Zero as Nightwolf. Sorry, it's late here. I'm flagging a little bit.
So Nightwolf is his answer for defeating Sub-Zero. At least, you know, it's not a counter, but it's his most comfortable option.
But then he'll have to fight Cetrion. Mark my words.
But as long as he wins this match, if things keep going the way he knows they can, that's all you need.
He needs to win this first game for things to not be really difficult. Because what's happening, by the way, nice pickup. He's going to amp this again, and by the time he's done it, he's built a second bar, Moonfall. And there's the jump in, Meaty. Doesn't let it go completely. Javier stagger, looking for the recall. And there we go again. He knows it lands, and he has the back 2 launcher. I tell you, Bio, he has been optimizing this variation.
Oh, there's that tried to recall twice and actually got trip guarded by a full screen ice.
I will be honest. I
not
really,
like this.
I do really wish that the recall button wasn't up too, because that is a rather common accident. Bio,
surely not.
Oh no, that is just tragic.
The fact that that started from him just not getting a recall twice and a trip guard projectile, that is heartbreaking.
The problem is that the input is up too, and sometimes that does just happen, you know? It is really unfortunate.
That could not have been more disastrous for Bio. He was on such a lead, and it just disappeared on the back of such an unfortunate error. But now the mix trying to swing it. Oh, this is
This could be over before it's began. I don't want to be too defeatist here, but this first game was really, really important for Biohazard to win. And unfortunately, putting us back in the corner, that was really, really unfortunate.
He had absolute momentum, right? Like, he was driving at 200 miles an hour. He was cruising, he was feeling good, and then he just crashed into a brick wall. That's what happened there. Like,
I just wish that
he could not have been more in control. He had like an 80% life lead. Everything was working out. And then such an unfortunate just input error in the neutral.
It's because it's
and what he happened to, and what he
because
happened to whiff gave him but what he happened to whiff was a neutral jump with a button done as early as possible. Like, you don't have more added recovery than what he did. I know how he got it and why he got it, but it doesn't mean it wasn't a huge unfortunate mishap. And it resulted in the total turnaround. Full comeback, right? Unjust gets the hit, Sub-Zero's game begins, and the rest, I mean, we just saw it, right? That's a heartbreaking way for that game to go for Bio.
I think I'd really like eventually for like maybe that input to perhaps just become something else, because being up 2 seems like it's quite...
In an ideal world, but don't hold your breath.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm kind of just thinking out loud at this point, but I really think that it would help out Moonfall quite a lot if the recall was something that wasn't as punishing.
And literally, we haven't seen Unjust and Bio play Kotal Khan sub in ages, and the first time Bio got him blocking anything, instant neutral jump because he read a command grab. Like, Mighty Unjust just has a sixth sense for when command grabs are going to come. Okay, now Bane though. Bane, Kotal Khan. Bane Khan. Big damage, big range. Bane without the debuff.
Oh, the wake up forward 2 getting completely annihilated. And another full combo here from Mighty Unjust. Whoa! Sub-Zero facing the wrong way, but you know what? It's still combos, who cares? And now, end the damage. Make some kind of read here. The damage totem begins. He's looking for more venom.
And Bio now in the fatal territory, but will he get a chance? Surely he's not dead. Yeah, he's not dead. That extra 10% health.
Oh, the Kotal Khan!
We went for it. Bio went for that.
Kotal Khan special right there.
The classic fatal blow counter poke. But the reason that works so good with Kotal Khan is because down 1 or you know, down 3, down 1, usually it's down 1, into command grab is a legitimate tick throw. You know, it's a mid command grab you're ticking with. So if you're going to try and get out of down 1 grab, you have to short hop, you have to jump.
Oh yeah. If you do
either of those, the fatal blow, yeah,
it becomes a lot more dangerous. It really does. But now, here's the catch anyway. Might Unjust going to get a full freeze, side switch, putting back into the corner, the up 3. Bio really wants his turn back. Wants you to press. Oh, and you've just given him the damage. Break happens, you've still lost 20%. Nice little knockdown as well. Bio closing in the distance, and here comes extra grab potential. What does he get from this? A 3 damage totem. Oh no. Looked like he tried to down 1 to make it whiff, and he got hit anyway. Must have been that was a deep freeze, right? Or was it not? I can't remember. Yeah, it must have been. Down 3.
Well, that's unsafe.
Wow, letting the whole thing go. I mean, that's risky business.
There's the break. He wants to stay alive, but the overhead on Oki. Mighty Unjust. Not looking like there's going to be 2 done yet, but 2-0 potentially. That's such a good parry.
I mean, like, that was a lovely confirm.
When you see Bio play against Sub, it's not like he's lacking confidence. Like, he clearly knows what he's doing. It's just Mighty Unjust. Mighty Unjust is just so... I think it's a mixture of... He's playing a character that is very uncomfortable to defend against, but he's also so good at defending against command grabs. I mean,
oh my lord, the first time he did the whole string.
But that's exactly the point I'm in the process of making. Like, he's so good at clutch flawless blocks, so good at making the read. And when are you going to grab? When are you going to tick? And when he makes the right... Because he's so confident in those decisions, when he sees that the decision was correct, he's ready to maximize damage. He's not going to miss those punishes.
Uh-oh, here we go again.
I mean, he's got 2 bars. He definitely can make this work. Delay wake up.
More jump. Fatal blow's ready. Not that it's really going to matter with this little health left in the tank.
Oh, both bars gone on deep freeze. And just has to be careful, though. That's a lot, Chip.
Oh, the counter punish. Dashing down 2. Boom. 1-1. Kotal Khan. All right, able to bring this one forward. Now, here's the thing. Kotal Khan, being Sub-Zero, if purely you know, theoretically, if Mighty Unjust now changes to another character, which tends to be at this situation, I think Cetrion is quite popular for this kind of situation.
We could see it.
Would he? Because he picks Cetrion against Aztec when he fights Aztec's Kotal Khan, but I don't think anyone would say that Kotal loses really badly to Cetrion because he does have the damage, he has got the reach and the range.
If Kotal Khan if you have the cat equipped, if you have the Jaguar equipped, definitely not a bad shout. But do we see it?
And Bio doesn't have it. Bio doesn't have the Jaguar, right? He has
not in this variation anyway.
Yeah, he's got the launcher, the command grab, and the damage totem.
But I think
that in that distance.
But Kotal could definitely be the choice because Kotal Khan is low-key, again, one of the bigger winners of the patch. You know, we know Bio's been playing Kotal Khan for a while. And even if he loses this and wants to stick with Kotal for the sake of getting the cat, if Unjust goes back to Sub-Zero, I mean, Kotal's not bad against Sub-Zero at all. So you can still see it being not a bad thing in the long run. I think Kotal Khan could definitely be a choice here that we can see work out. But Bio, if he loses this game, he is going to be put in an unfortunate situation where whatever he picks is going to have to be good against everything we've seen, whether it's the sub, whether it's the Cetrion, whether it's the potential for Jackie maybe, who knows. We know Unjust still can play that too. Liu Kang we've seen today. Oh, good parry. Oh, hello. That's a lot of damage. That is a tremendous amount of damage.
As the momentum belongs to Bio now, this is
420 ketchup for a bar.
I mean, come on.
I'm a Sarex player, and even I think that's disgusting.
That's how you know it's bad. Oh, neutral jump kick. Unjust, he is getting blended up. Biohazard making all the right decisions right now, and there's the extra damage on top. 22% command grab. Praise the grab. Yes, it was. Well observed.
Damn, the sun got hands.
The important thing, though, is that he has got this corner positioning. Whether he has it the whole game, I was about to say,
no, I feel like
we've
been saying the point all day because it's always such a prominent thing.
Two totems.
Oh no, but they're not on each other, so they're not going to stack. They just have different timings. And again, two different stacks being made.
Oh my god.
Parry, successful parry into flawless block.
Though.
No, I've never seen that. A parry into flawless block on
good lord.
Success. She actually might be dead.
Oh, he's not got meter.
I mean, Sun Ray, yeah, forward 2 Sun. Oh, didn't even see it. Didn't need to. Now, you want to talk a matchup of like polar opposites? We can talk Cetrion and her again. You know, she does a lot of damage quickly if she hits you in succession, which we do see happen a lot. But you want to talk for like, she'll touch you for like 130, 150. Kotal Khan hits you and it's like 400. Like that is the polar opposite, and he's got more health than her. So that difference is all the more.
It's why when I saw the change to Cetrion, I wasn't really worried about Biohazard here, because even if he hasn't got the tools that we saw Aztec use when he plays, or he's got.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I honestly, like, not to interrupt, but if I'm being honest, I feel like Kotal hasn't lost to Cetrion for a long time. I feel like you can't see what Kotal does and see him losing the matchup. I just don't see it.
Kotal losing to ranged characters and stuff like that. I think it's actually been a bit of a misconception since MKX, because what was the number one thing? People used to go, oh, don't pick, you're Kotal Khan, don't pick Kotal Khan against a Zoner. It's just not worth it. Oh,
but he like wave dashes at the speed of light, sticks his arms out, and he goes like 2 meters ahead.
I remember MKX, and people were like, don't pick Kotal Khan against a Zoner. It ain't worth it. And Blood God, don't even bother. Whereas the reality was Blood God dealt against Zoners the best because he had absolute sustain that they could not contend with.
They couldn't kill him. He just like...
Yeah, they couldn't kill him. And he would just he would kill you before you killed him. There's always a misconception, right? There's elements of that with Kotal in this game.
I always saw Bullet Kotal in this game to kind of be the closest thing to true Blood God.
This gets like a silly question. Can you still pick Bullock? I know that you can't stack totems yourself.
Yes. The only totem combination that is allowed is damage reduction and damage increase. So blue and black totems are the only ones that are allowed to be paired together. Yeah. If you want 2 totems together, they are the only ones you can pick together.
I don't actually play Kotal Khan, so it's one thing I never fully actually knew.
I mean, to us, no one really plays it anymore at a period. But right as we're finishing our our small point, the round is already over, and this change back to Sub-Zero is causing quite a stir. However, I definitely don't want to say it's going to be as easy as that. It's Biohazard looking good so far.
But the Sub-Zero, you are going to have to mix. Oh, you are going to have to mix that a little bit harder. You know, Kokan, he has that extra health. Oh, the hard read.
That was a hard call out. Yeah, we have seen Unjust the entire set going for big jumps to avoid the grab, and that you know, if they jump the grab, they get hit by the Khan cut. It's a real, like, again, primal 50-50, real caveman gameplay.
Oh,
but it works.
Match point now for Biohazard. This Kotal Khan looking like it's the secret of the day. 1 round. Now he hasn't got any defensive bar, but my man got 2 bars. That'll do so much damage.
I mean, one's already back.
Okay. Oh, loses out a hard read. The neutral jump to completely blow through it. But this is merely 1 touch. There's plenty more needed. That is going to hurt big time. And the breaker is used. The push in. Free totem? No, he wants to rush. He wants to go in. Totem? No, jump in. He's not going to think anything.
He doesn't want a totem. He doesn't want a totem because he doesn't want to lose any advantage he has. If he gets it, you're not going to have enough to do knockdown, totem, and then pressure. You do pressure or totem, and he doesn't want to lose the pressure. Speaking of which, though, back to the corner. Ooh.
My Unjust is showing so much respect to that 1-2. And hang on
that should be it, right?
Even with increased health.
No, the health kept him alive. But how long for?
Ooh. Oh, that was so smart. That was so smart from my Unjust.
He chose not to amplify it and wanted to use the timing of Bio trying to amplify Flawless Block the creeping ice to make him block something else instead. That was really clever.
Now, he's gone back to Sub-Zero. Bio, the Kotal has been great. The Kotal has been working really well. And the Nightwolf did have that disastrous 1 game. But now there's a 1 game. He knows he is fighting Sub.
I kind of half expect him to stick with Kotal, though, to be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised no matter what he does. I don't think anything here is going to be a surprise. Yeah, not even the Baraka, because his Baraka used to be his answer for my Unjust instead of Winter. So this is
true.
Still appropriate. This is still appropriate. And this is actually Bone Picker. This is the exact character that he used to beat this with. And Deep Freeze and Creeping Ice, it's not that different to Dead of Winter. Like, it's the same tool set.
I mean, again, like,
anyway.
Even thinking of Dead of Winter, like, yeah, Cold Shoulder was there, but I mean, that was getting picked for the Ice Ball. You know, you're still playing around that in the same way. So I can see this being not a bad idea. We did say how important that first game would be in this kind of matchup. And I think we've kind of seen elements of that here.
But we'll see if it's going to be able to get the job done. Because you know, Bio, he just has these ridiculous air to airs all the time. I love his Bone Picker combos. But now, my Unjust pushing forward. Risks it, but not as much of a risk with other characters, though. Only 20% for a bar. It's not as much. Full combo with the forward 2. Speaking of full combos, here comes the low. My Unjust spends the KB. Bio still alive, but barely. Oh, and there's the forward 2 out of nowhere. That's going to be my Unjust on match point and a shot at revenge against Tweedy.
But is it enough? Mighty Unjust. He is on match point, but this is still Bio. And we are dangerously close to that corner.
Tried to flawless block that jump in, you know.
Hang on, wait. Bio's got corner pressure. Oh, no, he's lost it.
Another, I think that was a flawless block again, Mustard. I think he's tried it twice.
It looks like it. Doesn't cash out. Doesn't even want to go for the restand this time. Just going for the standard knockdown. And this actually might be enough. Restand? Yep. I mean, here's no defensive bar. Creeping Ice should do it. Yeah, he tried. He tried to flawless block, but nothing doing. The Baraka pick, unfortunately, did not work out in the end. Biohazard going to be eliminated here at the very cold hands of Mighty Unjust for yet another week. But a very good set, another game 5. I feel like it wouldn't be Bio versus Unjust if it didn't go the distance. Not a disappointment, you know, to put it lightly. We always enjoy watching these two players duke it out, and it does mean we are going to be seeing Mighty Unjust in yet another grand finals where he does get that run back against Tweedy. But I mean, this is again another situation. We are not too familiar with seeing. I feel like Mighty Unjust isn't... actually, I'll take that back. In MK11 Ultimate, I feel like he's been a lot of loser side grand finals because of things like when Ice Scorpion kind of had his number for that kind of like, you know, three weeks of like regular competition or something like that. But as of late, not quite the same. I feel like Unjust has again really gone from strength to strength. However, today he is going to have his work cut out for him. And even in this set, we saw him try the Cetron, didn't work out, and it really was that Sub-Zero that shown the true side of the matchup there, where we know Unjust, you know, that the Sub-Zero is his comfort zone. It's what he tends to go with most of the time. And even against, right, the Kano, the Baraka, the Nightwolf, the Colt Khan, just forever able to make it work. And a true sign of someone that's put in that much time with the character, and well played.
We can just see these closing moments, a creeping ice just to do any chip that it can get its hands on. As it now means Mighty Unjust moving on 3-2. The rematch from Winners Finals. Tweedy was able to win that 3-1 very comfortably, if I might add. And as we now go into Grand Finals, we just have to ask that question, is it going to continue? Because now it's Tweedy, it's Mighty Unjust. I really expected to see Tweedy eventually in this Grand Finals. I think my very first prediction, it was either my first prediction or my second, I can't quite remember. I thought it was going to be a Tweedy versus Mighty Unjust Grand Final the first time we saw him. And, you know, everyone just played incredibly well for that result to not be the case. But this is something I thought it was only a matter of time. If Tweedy kept entering Open Series, it was only a matter of time until we eventually saw this Grand Finals. And it didn't take long. This is only week 3.
And the winner's side, no less, as well. Yeah, no, you're completely right. I think it's, as people that have been with the Open Series the whole time, it is nice to know that it's not like a player that doesn't enter can just rock up, annihilate everyone, and that's it. You know what I mean?
They still need to get into the system.
Yeah, every time a player that we know is a really solid top-level player, particularly in North America, I feel like Europe has had a lot of the best players entering for quite a while. So for Europe, we're kind of just used to seeing the best that there is a lot of the time. But for North America, I feel like it took a little bit longer for a lot of these players to start playing, right? I feel like Wise Gemini was the first one we saw really kind of step up to it. Biohazard Sunio earlier on, right? Like over time, we have started to see more players really, you know, enter and try and make it work. But I like how they really do have to fight for it. And even though today Tweedy has had quite a dominant run through, not necessarily against Mighty Unjust. Now, Mighty Unjust going to the Jackie Briggs to start the set, at the very least here in the Grand Finals. But Tweedy, you know, he really had to fight for that Winners Final. But here we are. The last set of the day, my friends. It has been a long day of combat, and we are very close to finding out who will be our final champion of the day. You know, whether it was Do Basic in Europe after a nail-biter of a bracket reset into another game 5. Oh,
yeah, we already had a crazy close day with EU. Do Basic
this Grand Finals has
Matter.
definitely got... It's following quite a tough act from Europe. I'll definitely say that much.
But let's go. Grand Finals of Week 3 North America. This time, Mighty Unjust coming in from loser's side. Has to beat Tweedy twice. 2 3 out of 5s to win this tournament. Tweedy has to win only the first. And now, as we begin, this rushdown from Jackie. Already coming in strong, but
what a buffer.
I mean, come on, you know Tweedy's going to know this matchup like the back of his hand.
My man was at Final Combat. I promise you he played this matchup hundreds of times across the weekend. Everyone was stuck indoors. There wasn't really much else to do.
Lab upgraded. Now, staggers into immediate cross-up. This is that next layer that we've basically continued from Winners Finals. And we're no longer just letting it rock. There's the anti-cross-up full combo from Tweedy. Wait a minute, he's got 2 bars. Okay, here we go. Spend it. Girus versus Jackie. He's always going to hit incredibly hard too. You know, she has that 950 health threshold. Girus is going to absolutely chunk that down.
Was counter hit as well though. Unjust was pressing. On the moment he tried to fight back was the moment that Unjust had no resources. Now that's the kind of matchup knowledge you know Tweedy is going to have. A big part of fighting Jackie is just paying attention to the bar. Can she do an angled super jump? How many times can she amplify the shrapnel? Oh, there's the grab. Throw loop city. Girus does get throw loops off both forward and back throws. One of the stronger throw games.
That hard read coming through again on the blocks 1-1-1. No Unjust is going to have the reactions to block that correctly, or at least the timing at the very least. But the buffer again.
Another buffer. This is how he made the comeback in round 1, so I'm definitely a bit nervous.
Yeah,
this is actually going to be fatal blow kill territory. Yep. One hit into fatal blow will kill here.
Oh, but he knows that the hit into fatal blow is the key to winning it easily, which is why he sticks out that grab to make it so much harder. The jump in, the down one, another grab. Now it's guess for game.
Oh, but the wake up forward jump.
No, he wasn't ready for that. He was not ready for the wake up jump. There's only so many options you can prepare for, and the wake up jump was not one
Tweedy
of them.
he was not playing for a reaction there. We saw just a straight up backdash into sand trap when Unjust had already gone for the jump. So Tweedy was looking for something very specific there that did not happen. However, he's starting this round off strong at the very least. Good block on this body splash. That Geras body splash, the general rule of thumb is if you're already blocking when it becomes active, you're probably not going to anti-air it. Nice KB ender. Plus frames.
Plus frames. Oh, but it's not without being challenged. Oh, the dash under. That's the knowledge. The knowledge right there. Being able to dash under the jump in full combo, and this is all but unwinnable. Yeah, the second that ground blast was going to come through, nothing Tweedy was going to do to stop that.
Now, a good first game. You have to remember Unjust. He does have to win 2-3 out of 5. So we mentioned it before, but it really does kind of play up here. Every time Unjust is winning a game here, it is one small step on the way to getting that tournament win. You know, if you're going from the loser side, you have to be willing for it to be 2 sets. You know, you have to know 6 games are minimum what you need to win. On the flip side, winner side, you are kind of thinking you don't want that to happen, right? You want to avoid that reset at all costs. But Tweedy, at the same time, I feel like it doesn't really mean as much in this set because Tweedy is not a player that is going to be sent to losers in the grand finals and then be like panicking, right? Like he's been here before. He's no stranger to grand finals. I can promise you he is as willing to take this to the final game of a reset as Unjust is. But Unjust, going with this Jackie, I really do think this was the right choice. I think it was worth a try in winners with the sub, but ultimately, and the Liu Kang as well, before I forget. But when push comes to shove, I really do feel like Jackie is Unjust's like star performer right now. I think that is definitely what he uses to have the most success, especially against these like larger, big body characters.
And we start things off with Mighty Unjust already kind of scoring that first blood, if you will. That reverse grab to open the pressure up. Anti-cross up attempt by Tweedy. Doesn't get punished for it though, but he will get clipped by that neutral jump. And a hard neutral duck read that's not going to pay out. This has been a rough round for Tweedy so far.
Nice
lovely confirm.
I always feel like that wasn't going to connect, that body splash. I looked at it a little bit too high up.
Pretty active though. Oh, God.
Ooh. Max range.
Yes, indeed. Oh, God, no. Oh, Tweedy, so tricky to survive in those conditions. As now, the ground blast.
Round 2, fight.
Tweedy 1 round away from it being 2-0, Mighty Unjust. No meter to spend, didn't quite have the meter, but now he does, and he will spend it this time. Full combo.
We've just got resets on resets here. That's half life gone instantly.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that could have been a huge whip punish on that jump back, but he wasn't quite ready to get it. Better spikes, air to air confirmed. We can see the second bar. No, we don't see it.
Back to the wall. That's going to be a giant cash out for Geras if he wants it.
Just a 340 damage air to air.
Nothing to see here, bro. Oh, he tries to interrupt and eats another full combo for his troubles. The last breaker, Tweedy's going to get the wake up 1-1. Here we go.
Unjust, he did this time his jump over normal there, so nothing connected. Oh my God.
Oh, he had the KB.
I didn't even realize he had that.
That's a dropped. That is absolutely a dropped confirm from Mighty Unjust. The down 1 and the body splash. There's no way he wanted just that into blast. I think he wanted the extra.
I kind of think that maybe he expected that to get blocked because that was 1-1. That's like +3 on block. Maybe he wanted to get plus frames and then enforce the frame trap.
I mean,
to be fair,
instead, Tweedy does like challenging plus frames, so it wouldn't have been a terrible read.
Well, unfortunately, Tweedy got hit by the second hit, so it was much less likely to work. Tweedy looking good in this round. Is that lead? Oh, empty jump again. Good fuzzy. But moving afterwards, I think. Actually, no, there wasn't even a counter here. I wonder what he was doing.
There's actually 3 for 3. The last 3 times he's done 1-1-1 on block, he's been just hit by a mid afterwards. Oh, confirm. Wait a minute. That is going to be the fair chunk of damage we cash out. Jackie, 950, remember. This is going to hurt so much. And now, grab or strike. It's not going to kill, but it's going to put the pressure on.
Roll to avoid both. It's back roll from that range. Plus frames. Yeah, this time respected.
He's happy to take that grab. He would have been happy to take that throw. You know, that any button into Fatal Blow was going to win, whereas he could afford to take a grab at the time. Now, not so much. And he gets the chase down. Mighty Unjust 2 games up here. And Tweedy against the ropes a little bit. You know, 1 game away from Mighty Unjust, bringing us into another 3 out of 5.
I do feel like he did the right thing at the end of that game, though. He had a bit of a lead, but not a lead enough that you can get too comfortable, because whenever you're fighting against someone, I mean, anyone with Fatal Blow, really, but least of all, Jackie, because if you just want to sit there and wait for your moment to go like, right, I'm just going to block and wait for their turn to be over, you'll sit there and block, you'll get hit by a back throw, she gets Oki off of it. You're going to sit there, she's going to go for things like leap into shrapnel, into other shrapnel, into whatever. She has plus frames she can use. But even down like that at the very end, where before you know it, you've taken a ton of chip damage, and there's just no avoiding it, right? Like you try and roll away so you don't have to just sit there and block exactly and wake up, and then the chase down. She's so good at just crushing opponents that are sitting there and blocking. You know, like it almost feels like sitting there and blocking is not going to help you, even though in a lot of situations it should. But in the hands of someone like Unjust, he's going to be able to get those chase downs. You're not going to be able to roll for free. You can't just sit there and block, because he's going to kill you for doing it. And that does now mean that Unjust is in quite quick fashion 2-0 up, looking for a potential reset bracket. He can win this game to get a 3-0 win over Tweedy, maybe. And this round is looking like we might just see that. But all the bar is gone now. Oh! Spoke too soon. Body splash from downtown. Yep, tried to pick up, but a little one hit too many.
And this has just been a really tricky exchange here for Tweedy. This absolute Jackie rushdown. Feels like no one is safe from it, Tweedy included. And the rounds just go from bad to worse. But now, the forward 2. Looking for the 1-1.
The overhead put her the overhead put her in a jumping state, or at least airborne state, and that's reset point already. Mighty Unjust 1 round away from evening things up in this grand final, sending Tweedy to losers and forcing that one last set. We might get 2 bracket resets in 1 day of Open Series. How about that? Oh, that was good.
Yeah, the side switch now, this reset point for Mighty Unjust. He is going to get caught by an anti-cross-up, but he's been looking real good so far. Tweedy just trying to fight back at this point. It's such a tricky sequence when the pressure's on, when things are getting stressy. And here comes Jackie, full speed ahead, all of the aggression in the world, with 1 round away from just making you play a whole 3 out of 5 all over again. Another knockdown. Ooh, the invincibility. I like that.
Yeah, invincible wake-up option. I like that. Okay, Tweedy with the throw punish. This is what he needs.
Waste my time.
Mighty Unjust still on, I'll say tournament point, not quite. Still on a reset point, but Tweedy not wanting this to go down to a 3-0. We've been talking about how dominant Unjust has been, but this is still Tweedy we're talking about. We could definitely see the 3-0 reverse if something changes. Obviously getting around to the board is a good way to start that, but it's far from enough. Fuzzy again. Oh my goodness, and again, Tweedy, almost every single time that full overhead string is blocked, I feel like he's always doing something that isn't blocked.
Wait a minute, you need to break this, Mighty Unjust, surely. Yeah, the good awareness. Kind of doing the noob Cybot techniques, waiting for the button that's not that before you break away. But the corner pressure now. 1 good, clean touch away, especially after this grab. Especially.
Oh, he's in trouble.
He's dead. There's nothing he's doing there. Nothing he's doing to stop that. Now Mighty Unjust brings us into a reset bracket. Now, this is definitely where I get interested, because Mighty Unjust, so he's gone into the Jackie this time, and it's looking super, super one-sided. What does Tweedy do? I know he plays a bunch of characters, but Geras is the main, though.
Well, I
don't remember the last time he played Melina. Like,
I know Jackie is quite the pest for Geras. I think Geras has certain things that she can make whiff quite well. You know, she has decent defensive options. He doesn't have the best answers to her extreme mobility. But I don't know if it's bad enough to warrant swapping away. I feel like Tweedy has definitely proven that he can play this matchup. He definitely... I feel like swapping isn't necessary for him here. I really just tried to find another way of just saying that, you know. But fundamentally, that is what it boils down to. I think that was that was definitely a 3-0, but it wasn't like a 3-0 to the point that he looked completely helpless. I definitely think we can see Tweedy make this adjustment, but now he has to do it quick. I think the longer the set goes on, the more we're seeing him go for like kind of preemptive buttons, good buffers.
Oh dear.
But that's a big thing though, right? Like not a lot of anti-airs, not a lot of flawless blocks to deal with the general upgraded game plan, but he's going for a lot of kind of like early anticipation jumping normals. But that requires space, it requires distance, it requires more health than he currently has to do it confidently, as that's already the round gone. Mighty Unjust, good lord, making this match look easy. But I feel like Tweedy is spending most of the game blocking. Yeah, again, now that right there, that was, again, I've been using the word a lot today, but preemptive forward 3, because it's been working. You know, buffer it into forward 3, into bed of spikes. On whiff, you get forward 3 too if you misspace it. On hit, you get combo. And that kind of instance, big whiff punish. Speaking of which, there it is again. A bar just about to come back. And Tweedy cannot get out of this corner at the moment. Stuck. Good anti-air, or anti-cross-up, I should say, down 1. MK9 stuff right there.
And he's still going to pick this full combo up, which is really nice. The KB for good measure. I mean, you're in a position where you need to make a comeback now, so that's as much damage as you're going to get there. Waits for the double blast, and hang on a minute, he's got fatal breaks down there.
I don't think it's a kill, but it'll be close.
It's always hard to say because it's a 950 health character. I think narrowly survived, but I mean, no, this is Jackie.
Oh, no, that isn't. God. Wow. Okay, no, that actually did that did close to 500 damage. That was much more than I was expecting it to do.
I think if it wasn't a 950 health character, it would have been much harder to read. But the second it's Jackie, it's like, I don't know. You always have to assume that it would just kill. But Tweedy, this is an opportunity. The defense will be happy to take throws for now until things start to add up. The wake up 1-1. Even if you break this and he does it down 2. Oh, he gets the good call out.
Oh no. Oh, the damage. Oh my goodness, that's some of the matchup knowledge right there. Make that second hit with, but no punish from Unjust.
But there will be a punish from Tweedy. Knockdown.
Oh, okay. Now Tweedy, we did say it's too early to go saying that this is going to be just the same thing. You know, Tweedy more than capable of making the adjustment. We're seeing it right here as the first round. That was a 3-0 to reset. But the second it's reset, Tweedy gets the first game. It's so unpredictable.
It's just when really good players look, when really good players go head to head, this happens. Like this incredible back and forth. They just play a set. Tweedy plays him first, one-sided. Unjust plays him first set of grand finals, one-sided. They play less than a minute later into the next set. Tweedy wins the next game and looks really comfortable in the entire process. It's the unpredictability. It's the same characters, same matchups, same players. But in this reset situation, we're looking pretty good here for Tweedy to maybe win this. He's got a good start, 1-0. Let's keep going.
Well, he's going to need to. Mighty Unjust, you know, having that 3-0 lead, that is like ultimate momentum. Snowball rolling, and Tweedy putting a stop to it straight away. And that first round after the reset was one of the most dominant of the entire set, so that was some on the fly. However, now we go into the second game post-reset. Okay, now already, yeah, Tweedy. Yeah, he finished that string in the last game and got whiff punished for it. So this time, just the first hit and only that. But there it is, the anti-air. That really has been the biggest change here from Tweedy. Tweedy is actively looking to anti-air now. He wasn't doing that before. I think he was content to kind of just sit and wait. But now he's actually going for down 1 anti-air.
He was getting totally overwhelmed before. And I think that's it. Being able to answer it back, wait for you to press, and he's actually anti-airing Jackie. It's no easy task anyway. But Tweedy's having those reactions on deck so far. Speaking of which, he will just sit and respect it this time. I think he recognizes the hype. Jackie's too low down for you to squeeze out that down 1. Oh, get back down here. Overhead to splat. Confirm.
Instant confirm. No hesitation there. Unjust needing the damage. Get it on the board, get the round, be done with it. That's going to be the round easily. Yep, more than enough.
Round 2. Fight.
Tweedy showing patience again. That's the second time he's tried to jump out of the 1-1 there. This time we saw Unjust actually get something for it. That body smash again. Unjust on the flip side, though. We're not really seeing any anti-air attempts from Unjust either. I think both players kind of just content knowing how oppressive those jumping options are and kind of just letting them happen. Oh, big whiff, but no commitment. There it is.
And another opportunity to cash out Tweedy. You'll rarely catch him not spending both bars if he has the opportunity. And now, bed of spikes. In 2 touches, he has brought himself right back in, but another time. That's it.
Oh my god. Oh. Fully unbreakable, no less, as well, was that. Mighty Unjust tying things up straight away with an unbreakable confirm. And just one of the extra things that makes Jackie so good right now. You know, if you have the super jump and shrapnel, the unbreakable damage is considerable. And then again with the grenade launcher, right? This is the highest damage kind of hit for hit that you could do for Jackie. Like, I know there's a lot to be said for like the potential for like upgraded plus clinch, or, you know, upgraded plus whatever else you might want. But upgraded grenade launcher, you just cannot shy away from that damage. The damage of the grenade itself, the damage over time that it applies, that also stacks when you get hit by 2 of them. And if you double amp it for the unbreakable, it's just going to add up to so much. And that's what we saw to win the game there. Tweedy, though, sticking out with Geras, much to our expectations. I feel like early in that game, we saw a lot of anti-airs, and we saw a lot less of them as the match went on. I feel like that's just not wanting to take as many risks. But again, when you never anti-air Jackie, she does get to kind of run around for free. But it's just so much easier said than done, because the second you try an anti-air, boom, shrapnel comes out, you've been hit by it, full combo as well, and you just feel like, damn, I'm not going to anti-air anymore. And then not anti-airing puts you in the blender again. It's a difficult situation to be in.
And now as we go into this next match, we start off strong with Tweedy getting some automatic momentum. You know, that sand trap always going to give you that plus situation with the instant anti-air there, Mighty Unjust. Looking to prevent, but there's the 1-1 hit confirm. So much of what we've already grown to see, but the double blast, not ready for that one. Probably trying to go for an interruption of some sorts, but it's just not going to work out. And now looking for the buffer again, letting the whole string rock, but this time letting the whole thing go. Plus frames. The walk, I mean, this is the respect, the awareness. He's not going to challenge yet, but he's going to try and do some kind of answer for what you do afterwards.
Ooh, interesting trade. Tweedy getting so much out of that forward 3. It really has been a kind of magic button, but now a lot less commitment to it too. Okay, confirm. Oh, that was an answer and a half. Now, Tweedy, I don't think he can kill off this, but he can cash out for a lot if he wants. Now, this started off a jump 1, so this shouldn't kill, but I said that last time, so I actually don't know. I feel like it won't, but it'll be at least a life lead.
It's definitely doing less damage, but it's still Mighty Unjust in a... Oh my good god, he definitely tried to flawless block or something for that. There's no way he just got hit. He tried something.
That was just a Hail Mary, just raw super jump. No, did it connect? Unjust was ready for it. He was confident it was going to do it.
Here we go again. That gigantic damage into, might I add, a free situation. That situation, dashing down 1. No success. Oh, finally ready for the down 2.
And we mustn't forget, like, Infinite Warden style Geras, right? The bed of spikes and sand trap together is still going to be, he touches you, he's at advantage. You know, some characters you have to just learn what setups are real, like which knockdowns can I disrespect, which knockdowns do I have to hold Oki. Against Geras with bed of spikes, it's I got hit, so I have to respect Oki. Like, he is just that kind of character. Yep, just built the second bar as well. Tweedy cashing out. Enough? Not enough to kill, but damn close.
Oh, he gets it.
That right there, the down 4 sand trap. One of those early options. So on whiff, it will give you the special cancel, covers multiple options. So good, especially from that range where it's very hard to punish.
Important round for Tweedy to win.
Oh,
the second you lose the round with a fatal blow, that is not a good feeling, but here we go now. Mighty Unjust, he's laying that pressure on for yet another time.
Oh, that's the worst kind of reset. Mighty Unjust, he could have spent both bars there, opted to spend just 1, knowing Tweedy was going to do something. Spent it, or saved it for just this moment here, where now Tweedy is in serious trouble. Gets a hit, but again, so much just tricky air-to-air confirms that. From those kind of like on the way up jumps, so hard to deal with. However, Tweedy gets a big hit here, has 1 more bar, knocked down. What's the mix-up? Again, going once more for that down 4. The interruption again. We just clip in. We need more
That
than
could have
just
been
single
game
hits here,
over
though.
right there. Now, Tweedy, he cannot throw Sand Trap. I almost feel like that Sand Trap was on the understanding it was going to get blocked just for free chip damage, because with 2 plasma trails on the floor, you're pretty much dead at this health. There's not much you can do. Now, that's a really good turnaround. However, those block Sand Traps
on
will
paper,
nullify
he shouldn't
KB.
be. On paper, he has to be careful with Sand Trap. I think his timing has been so good, but not good enough. Mighty Unjust is going to be taking the lead once more in this grand final set. We have to remember this is for the end of the tournament. 2-1 now post reset. Mighty Unjust, he's already reset the bracket on Tweedy. That was 3-0. That was one-sided. But the same cannot be said for post reset. We are seeing trading game for game. However, we have to point out, Tweedy, he took the first game after the reset, and now Unjust has taken the next 2. So he is looking poised to take this entire tournament unless Tweedy can do something. Because I feel like Tweedy is definitely not even playing bad. I think it just comes down to, like, every now and then, one thing just won't go quite right. You know, and that one thing could be a super jump at a time he just wasn't ready, or, you know, maybe trying to press a down 1 at a time that maybe it wouldn't have worked out. It's not happening all the time, but when it happens, it's impactful. And now we go into what definitely could be the final match of the tournament, unless Tweedy can do something about it, which, I mean, I'm kind of expecting to see it. We could go to a post-reset Game 5 for both EU and North America.
Both sides, man.
That's
Would
kind
be
of what I'm
absolutely
expecting.
ridiculous.
That would be great. But it is what we're going to see. Who knows?
Here we go.
Fight.
What could be the final game, or it could just be pre-match of Game 5. Tweedy. That one game he's got on the board, I mean, he's been able to fight back in all these games since the reset. It's just really unfortunate the scoreline doesn't really reflect it, to be honest. Okay. Yep, that's an opening. We start things off with Tweedy, push him forward. Another grab. He's going back to his roots. This absolute classic mix-up. This time with Unjust having a bar of defensive bar. Don't want to over-push right there.
Good wake-up attack. I actually feel like we've rarely seen Tweedy do any like legitimate wake-up, like actual attacks in this entire set. There's that one time Tweedy didn't buffer it. I think he just wasn't super confident. Too close to get the safe version. Wanted to play it safe. Speaking of which, though, he has the fatal blow. Another good fuzzy, and this time Tweedy blocks. And the anti-air armor break for good measure. Now that was best case scenario. That would have killed even without the armor break, but with it, not only does it guarantee it, but it's also taken away that crucial resource from IT Unjust and that defensive bar. Tweedy not going down just yet.
Round 2. Fight.
Now Unjust, he's still 1 round away from being on tournament point, but Tweedy, he starts things off with another sand trap, and it is that mix-up, as I say, dash in grab or dash in mid. I know there's more to it than that, especially these days, but if you're expecting a grab and a mid comes out, it's, you know the damage, look at that.
Oh, we actually saw the 400 threshold once more. Tweedy looking completely unstoppable. And the dash underneath, but no, couldn't get a full punish on the trip guard. Now Unjust, he has a comeback of his own to mount now. Counter hit, Tweedy. Good throw tech.
Oh, wow. That's going to do half the life that Unjust has left. Looking for a trip guard. Another throw tech here from Tweedy. And the down 1. A grab. All right. Okay. This is definitely something that's never happened in Open Series before. For both EU and North America. We've had a bracket reset grand finals and a Game 5 combined. Both of these grand finals.
Has this really never happened before? Like,
no.
ever?
Not reset plus Game 5 on both regions in the same day. I'm pretty willing to bet this is a first for Open Series. And I'm here for it.
I'm not going to disagree because I don't know otherwise. I'm just going to blindly agree and go, yes, it definitely is. What an unprecedented day this has been. But it does mean we've had some 2 sick grand finals. That much is certain. But now it boils down to this. Bracket reset achieved. Game 5 about to start. 1 more match away from finding out who is going to be our North American winner. Will Mighty Unjust continue this reign of terror, this win streak he's got going on? Or will Tweedy be the conqueror we need in the Open Series and knock him off? But who knows? 1 more game will decide it, though. And this has been a really good set too. This has been a really strong showing.
This is the set I really thought we would eventually see. You know, if Tweedy kept entering open series and inevitably fought Unjust, I kind of knew this would be something that happened eventually. This is just why Tweedy was... He's so considered to be such a great player. All right.
No commitment either, Tweedy.
We really are just constantly picking up where we left off in these games as well. Absolutely.
It looks like it. It just looks like one continuous match.
It basically is, isn't it?
That's not the first time Unjust has missed that, though. Trying to go for that uppercut and knowing you're going to break away just to get some damage, but he's actually whiffing the uppercut. And that is damage you cannot leave on the table. Because that's an uppercut that early in a combo. Even if they break away, it's adding quite a lot. It's a fairly chunky percentage.
All right, he's going in. All-out offense. Another whiff. Major whiff.
All right. Both bars spent. Hang on. And he's got fatal blow.
The breaker. I'm actually surprised he broke that. That is a scary break.
That could have been an armor break kill for sure.
Staggering it into 1-1. He's being so cheeky. Another slam. Tweedy, does he get the right call out? Oh no, Jackie! Oh, the Jackie effect. Oh, the Jackie effect.
Oh, no.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. It's tournament point for Tweedy.
But the fact that he whiffed the uppercut and then immediately hit another one, like that was just momentum stealing back and forth, even down to that final wake up. Oh no! Whiff punish.
Okay, corner pressure, mighty Unjust. He's starting to push. Tweedy taking a ton of damage, and here comes the amplify for even more of it. Damage on the floor, the goop. It's the jump kick, but not looking for anything there. Doesn't quite build the bar, but now he does. It's going to be tournament point. Both sides. Here we go, Tweedy, my Unjust. Open series, who's going to take it?
Final round. Both players. This 90 seconds is going to decide everything. Oh! No finish either that string. No, the bed of spikes they made. No, Tweedy, that had to have been a flawless block. There's no way he was just standing there. Oh my god, both bars spent too, and the damage on the floor. Tweedy not looking good.
Tweedy doesn't want to take because he gets knocked down right into the goop. Oh no, after all of this.
Okay,
wait,
there it is. There it is.
The buffer.
Oh, but again, these instant jump normals from Unjust. But again, these forward threes just as likely. No confirm this time, Tweedy. Trying to play it safe as possible, but no. Another clip thrown out. Is that enough? I think it is. And mighty Unjust for another week. Yet another times, however many it's been, is going to be sealing the tournament away. First place secured, win streak continued, and this time Tweedy was not able to stop him, but he came damn close to be sure.
I feel like at this point, this is like such a mighty Unjust situation where no matter how close it is, no matter
how stacked the top 8 is
how
of the week.
stacked the top 8 is, no matter who's in the bracket, mighty Unjust in the final moments will always be the winner of the open series so far. It's absolutely ridiculous, but we've got to give Tweedy his props. You know, we knew he had the absolute potential to give mighty Unjust one hell of a challenge, and he was a couple of hits away from being able to take him out in grand finals, you know. But the reset, the marathon that Unjust had to go through, earning this win without question, just continues the open series rampage. And it just kind of starts to think, who is going to be the player that takes him out this time? Now, how long is it going to take? Because it keeps getting so close. But so far, Tweedy able to give us one hell of a show. You know, we had King Gambler bring his A game. Biohazard, as always. That is going to be another Open Series Invitational, which does mean that we have one more for January of the weeklies, and then we have the monthly finals after that. So there's still Mortal Kombat. There's still plenty of Mortal Kombat where that came from. We have the schedule coming up real soon, but for now, let's take a look at the bracket just for anyone that might have missed the journey. A lot of one-sided victories at the start, but then things started getting nice and competitive. We had Biohazard versus King Gambler, 3-2. Mighty Unjust versus Biohazard, 3-2. Pre-reset 3-0, but then post-reset 3-2. Again, everything is just continuing. Now, Mustard, run us through the schedule.
So the schedule, as it's about to come up in a few seconds' time, is as follows. For MK11, it's going to be January the 26th. So same time, same place next week, but the monthly final, you know, we have to say whenever the monthly final is here, it usually is in the same week. So next week is going to be one of those 3 tournaments in 7 days kind of shindigs, where the Tuesday is going to be the 26th. We have the Open Series and the finals on Friday 29th. But if MK11, you know, if you like watching MK, but you're after watching some other games as well, fret not, because there's BB Tag, Under Night in Birth, Soul Calibur 6, FIFA. There are plenty of games, a ton of fighting games as well, obviously with the exception of FIFA, but there's a ton of fighting games to watch and enjoy for Open Series, and plenty of games just to sink your teeth into. So if you like watching competitive games, the Open Series is a great place to scratch that itch. And of course, if you want to get involved, you know, if you want to be on next week's stream, if you want to have a chance at qualifying and being here and getting some games commentated and playing against the best players that there are in Open Series, it is compete.playstation.com for all the information you could possibly need on the Open Series, and not only that, the pro competition for MK11 as well. Everything you need is right there all together. It could not be easier to get involved and be a part of competitive MK11 currently. We'd love to see you play. We'd love to talk about your gameplay, and we'd love to get this community even bigger than it currently is now. But that does mean that for another time, my friends, we are going to have to say goodnight, as we have run out of time. We have completed our tournament today for Europe, being won by Do Basic, and of course the mighty Unjust, able to keep his win streak alive and well, but not without a lot of a fight by Tweedy in that second place. I do want to thank you so much for watching at home. Thank you very much to Sony PlayStation for continuing to support Mortal Kombat 11, be it through pro competition, be it through Open Series. We do appreciate it. We thank you very much for it. I want to thank you, of course, Catch Up, for commentating alongside me. It's always a great fun. And of course, huge shout outs to the production team behind the scenes for putting in all the work and keeping the lights on and making the wheels go round. But for another time, we're going to be saying good night. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next week, same time, same place, for more Open Series action. We have been Ketchup and Mustard. Good night and much love. Take care.
PlayStation